Hello, and we are back. Welcome back to another Sometimes I forget this is actually a podcast. Hello, and welcome back to another Nextlander podcast. Yeah.
Technically.
Yeah. And welcome back to our continuation of our Game of the Year celebration, where we are running down our favorite games of the year. I'm joined by Alex Navarro. How are you?
I am presumably fine. I'm going to guess that during this break, whenever this one goes live, I am somewhere and I am fine.
Great. Fantastic. Good presumptions to have. Brad Shoemaker, how are you?
Hi. Hello. Hi. You say welcome back, but it's almost like we never left.
It's almost like we never left, except it has been a week since we recorded this last time.
Video games, they're still here.
They are still here, and they are still coming out. Though we are here.
Now.
We are here to talk about 2025. And again, if you are listening to this, there is a video version where we will have access to the list to look at, and we will also have some footage underneath some of these things. But we are here to look at our video game lists. To jump off here, Brad Shoemaker, why don't you run us down your top, let's see, we have 10 through 5.
The first 6 that we have right now.
Yeah.
My bottom 6. Starting at number 10. Avowed. Peak. Elden Ring Night Rain. Silent Hill F. Fortnite. And Ball Pit / Megabonk.
Okay. Yes, you have just to refresh the memories of everyone, the 5s.
Mm-hmm.
You have multiple 5s.
They look the same neurochemical either way.
My number 10 was Split Fiction. Number 9, Shinobi Art of Vengeance. 8, Abiotic Factor. 7, Death Stranding 2 on the Beach. 6, Peak. And 5, Donkey Kong Bonanza. Alex?
My number 10 is Death Stranding 2, even though it doesn't say on the beach. It's the same game you were talking about.
It's true.
Shinobi Art of Vengeance is my number 9. Megabonk at number 8. Silent Hill F at number 7. Skate Story at number 6. And Donkey Kong Bonanza at number 5.
That's a great number 5. But we've got more games to talk about, and we're going to kick it off here with Brad Shoemaker to take us to his number 4 game. Brad.
Okay. Surprisingly contentious slot.
Okay.
This is, we'll talk about it at the end of this whole thing. Some stuff rotated in and out of this slot, but where I have landed is Void Crew.
Nice. Okay.
Void Crew at number 4.
Void Crew at number 4. This was a game that almost made my list. It did not make my list, so I'm assuming Alex is not going to come up later on your list.
I have not played hardly any Void Crew because you guys mostly did that this year, but I've certainly watched you guys play some Void Crew.
I've said multiple times in the last months or year or two, I feel like we are in kind of a golden age of multiplayer games.
I agree.
Between like weird, interesting team-based cooperative stuff and proximity chat, and just like there are a lot of wild, cool ideas in multiplayer that are not just kill everybody on the other team, which is very refreshing. There's also a lot of spaceship games out there.
Oh,
yes.
Like kind of a lot.
People yearn for the void.
Yeah. Well, people yearn for Star Trek is my theory.
Yeah.
A lot of people that like video games also have the fantasy of crewing a starship.
Totally.
And this is by far the best one of those that I have played, like by far.
Yeah, we've done a decent amount of multiple people are on a ship and you're either PvE or PvPing your way through an encounter. In this case, Void Crew is a run-based PvE game.
Yeah. So basically, it might as well be a roguelike, I guess. Now that you mention it.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't want people to get upset about the run-based versus roguelikeness of anything, but yeah, you do a run and you keep going, it seems like, until you can't go anymore. In kind of rounds. The trick with this game that I think it pulls off really well is the managing the in-ship, just making it satisfying enough, but not too complicated to pull off. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Enough dials and twists and turns and like keep the things going.
But definitely more complicated than like Wildgate or Jump Ship, for example, or Sea of Thieves, which like frankly I kind of credit for kicking off this whole subgenre because all these games are kind of just Sea of Thieves in space in one way or another. But yes, this one has got enough of the engineering part of what you want out of running a starship to really satisfy.
Yeah.
And like that stuff. that stuff gets really fun and hectic when shit is hitting the fan and you have to run around like adjusting engine trim and repairing shit and on, you know.
And I
also
think
just
also,
like,
sorry, go ahead.
Like tremendous amount of customization run to run, you know, because the things that are dropping are different. There's tons of different build stuff you can do. There's just a ton of variety in here. It's incredibly satisfying to run the ship. It's fun to play the different roles. The cosmetics are fun.
And it's hard, but I feel like it's not hard. How do I put this? Like you can change your role at any time on your ship, right? That's not the difficulty, right? Like you can get to you can max out a role relatively soon for some of these games, right? Like you're down your tree and swap between gunner and pilot and engineer and scavenger. And when you're with multiple people, that makes a lot of sense, right? You can min-max those classes. So the difficulty doesn't come in there. I think the difficulty comes in how far do you want to push to get gear and how far do you want to stick around and push your luck, which is always
tons of risk reward.
Yeah.
Lots of decision making in this game. Risk reward on how hard do we push in? Do we want to go for that abandoned base over there, even though there's like fighters swarming around it and we have 4 minutes before the reclaimer warps in, or should we just get out of here now?
Or like even picking what your next destination is on a run, right? Like, hey, this one's supposed to be a little harder, but the rewards seem better, but it could end our run, or we'll just fail this thing.
Yes, I am just now really appreciating how much depth there is in the builds or in the different ways to kit out the starship
and different starships.
I think that also yes, they're still adding new ships to the game, and those change the way that you play dramatically, depending on like if you get the ship that has all the automated brain guns on it, you know, or if this one has an arrangement where like putting all the guns on one side makes more sense, stuff like that. Also, like we have just started buying weapon mods finally. Like that last run, we finally got some guns to level 3 and started putting some mods on them, and that made a huge difference in how far we got in that run. Like there's so much like variety and depth that we are just now starting to tap into in that game. Also, we've only ever had 3 people in that game on our streams, but it goes up to 6.
Yeah.
So I can't even imagine what this game is like playing that big ass capital ship with 6 people. Like that seems like so much fun.
And gotta say, like Peak, this has very good implementation of proximity chat.
Extremely good effects on the prox chat as you get farther away from each other.
Yeah, when it switches the comms and things like that.
I feel like that has increasingly become the thing you have to get right in these games. Like as the proximity chat has developed and more games are applying it, like if you don't have a good or novel implementation of that, like it's way less interesting.
Yeah, like whether it's adding echo and peak when somebody falls down a cliff, or adding like radio static in this game as you get far apart, like it's just so key to the immersive part of the experience. Yeah,
I mean, some of the most fun, like I like being in the pilot seat in this game because I enjoy pulling up to a station and having you guys get out, get on comms, and I have no idea what you're looking at inside the station, but you're just like, oh wow, yeah, nope. Dropping this thing outside, Vinny, can you just scoop it up? You know, it's just a cool vibe in the game.
Yeah.
And feels like maybe the closest thing you get, or I have played, that's not necessarily super sim like an Eve or something like that. That makes me feel like we're in charge of a starship going on missions, right?
It really does walk that line really well of like, it's just complicated enough to feel like you're really running the ship, but not so much that it's overwhelming or tedious.
Yeah, last time we lost our mission because we couldn't get the temperature inside the ship down fast enough, okay?
That's still, man, not knowing that I just needed to work the life support over and over to get that down, that's still killing me that I fucked that up. But
Void
on the other
Crew.
hand, we did launch a nuke into the sun.
We did, and paid dearly for it.
Is how that whole problem started.
Void Crew, your number 4. Yeah.
I will say it did go 1.0 at the tail end of last year, but like it got a ton of meaningful updates this year that turned it into the game that it is now.
Yes, right.
So like it's still evolved dramatically over the course of this year to get better.
Also got its console release in 2025. So technically a release.
Yep. We got to get a bigger Void Crew together at some point.
All right. That is Void Crew on your number 4. Heck of a game. Now we are up to Vinny's number 4, and you guys knew this was going to be somewhere on the list, I'm sure you're asking yourself, where was it going to be on the list? Well, to answer that question, it's number 4. Hollow Knight Silk Song is number 4 on my list. Is a game I have not finished yet, probably about 50 hours in.
I think that's enough to put it on a list.
For me, that's enough this is the game I'm probably going to spend the most time playing over the break. This is my game I'm going to sit down and just kind of plink away at. I think Hollow Knight Silk Song, and I'm just going to call it Silk Song from now on, or I might call it Hollow Knight, sorry about that, is a fine successor to Hollow Knight. It is different. As someone who has played through Hollow Knight and Silk Song, or a lot of Silk Song this year, I think it is different enough to keep it interesting. I think the mechanics in it are different enough. Silk Song does a big thing by changing the way your loadout changes the way you play the game, right? Like Hornet, the main character of Silk Song, can play very different than the Vessel and use very different builds even from any of us that are playing, depending on the loadout you have. Down to what happens when you try to hit down and jump will change based on your loadout. That's a huge difference. There are also modifiers by how fast Hornet's going to swing, how much damage Hornet's going to do. In Hollow Knight, the Vessel had charms, which you kind of use to build your loadout. Here you have charms and you have tools, and you also just have base configurations, basically your base loadout. So like, I can't remember all the names of them, but I think, for example, something like beast mode, or are you in like explorer mode, are you in action mode? And those are your base kind of jump and traversal or down jump build and loadouts. And it kind of dictates how many accessories you're going to be able to put on, how many tools you're going to be able to put on. There's just a lot of variety there that I really enjoy. Still very frustrating. It's still got runbacks that can feel too long and punishing at some point. This game isn't number 1 on my list. I do have some issues with it. I think sometimes I put it down. I'm like, I just don't feel like doing this run back anymore. Like I'm just going to put this down. I'm tired. I think this is too punishing. Argument could probably be made by someone that the run back is part of this boss encounter, right? Hopefully it's been tuned so that you always come into this boss encounter having taken a little damage or whatever it is, but it's frustrating, right? Who wants to do a 30-second plus hard run back when you're about to go learn how to do a boss 47 times in a row, right? You just want to start that boss.
I am vehemently anti-run back as a concept in general, so this is never going to be the kind of game that jives with my sensibilities. That said, I don't know. I feel like by the end of this year, I saw way more people generally positive about Silk Song than they were maybe when it first came out, and people were kind of bristling at like the difficulty and some other things around the edges of like, this isn't just like Hollow Knight. This is really punishing. What the fuck? And I mean, look, Hollow Knight could be punishing, but my understanding is they really dialed it up with this one. I don't know. I think that if this were the kind of game I were more into, this might be like an all-timer for me, but I just don't like the sensibility that they go for with these games. I love the aesthetics. I love the vibes. I just don't like the way they're designed and played, and that's not they're bad. That is this is just not my kind of game.
If you don't like the core of this loop, you're not going to do it. I don't think this is going to change your mind.
It's a really beautiful game, though. I did play some of it.
Yeah, I love the atmosphere in this game. I love all the characters that they have thrown into this. And I think the boss fights, oh my gosh. Brad, I know you're playing Metroid 4 as well. I'm just going to mention this here. I'm not going to dig on Metroid 4. Look, it's not going to be on my list.
Yeah.
It just reminded me of every boss encounter in Silk Song I have found to be, at the very least, learning it to be rewarding by the end. Okay, they may not be the best boss encounters, it may be super frustrating, it may suck shit, but I usually have to learn a boss encounter, and by the end I have won. I just fought a boss in Metroid Prime 4 that might be the most boring boss I have ever fought in any video game, and it made me think, because I knew we were doing our lists, and I was thinking about my list, and I was like, this is just supremely boring. It's not challenging. I'm playing that game on normal. It's not challenging at all. It takes forever. It's a boss where you just have to wait it out until it does a move. it's the boss in the ice cave, the ice environment. It basically it has to go into an animation where it rolls and hits a wall. You know, Nintendo bosses where they roll and hit a wall when you dodge out of the way and then go dizzy, right? So you have to wait through these. I don't know if there's a better way to trigger it. It's just so long, so boring. And you're just sitting there waiting for this boss to do a thing, easily dodging all the attacks. And I feel like that's a big reason I like Silksong, even though it's hard. It's not boring. It's keeping me sweaty and engaged, frustrated. But I'm constantly feel like, oh, if I had just done this instead of this, or maybe this is the run where I'm going to use all my tools and I'm just going to like, okay, I'm not going to use any tools unless I'm on to phase 2 of this boss because the tools can be a limited resource and then you have to grind out. I find that very engaging. So Silksong, number 4 on my list. Gonna keep playing it. Haven't finished it yet. I think it is the one game on this list aside from Abiotic Factor that I have not finished yet. But I think I enjoyed it enough to put it on this list. All right. Alex. Let's take it to your number 4.
Well, it's time for us to have a conversation we have been putting off since the last one of these, because this was one that was on your list already, but is now going on mine. Abiotic Factor at number 4.
Abiotic Factor.
At number 4.
All right, I'm going to paste you in here.
Yes, I should probably write that in next time.
I got it. I got it. I got the list up.
But yeah,
since it was on my list, I had it there to copy and paste.
Fair. But you and I have been playing this throughout the year with a couple of our D&D friends, shout out to Darren and Billy, who have been doing the lion's share of the work of both maintaining our server and also building out our bases when we're not there. And like one of these games usually, or some version of like a ongoing multiplayer experience game, like there's that year we all played Sons of the Forest, you know, there's always one of these catches me generally in a year. This just happened to be the one that got me. Mostly because I had enthusiastic friends that wanted to play it. But also in general, I think the structure of this thing is just really cool. Like I like the endless climb through this incredible, impossible science base to try and find your way out of it. And then you're also just going into other extra dimensional realms and like plundering and building around the edges of that stuff. I like all the really goofy gear that you can build in this game, you know, because the whole premise is you're just scrapping together weapons and armor and other things from random junk you find around this very, let's just call it very Portal-like science facility.
Yes.
Or Half-Life like.
Yeah, or Half-Life. I mean, I think it's dumb Half-Life, you know, like that's what they're going for. And it's just, it's fun.
Yes. I like this game a lot. Like there's a world where this could have been on my top 10, maybe if we had streamed more of it. I'm gonna be real. I'm kind of bummed we stopped streaming this. I mean, you guys seemed like you were kind of done with it, but I felt like we were just hitting our stride.
It takes a long time.
There's a lot more. Yes, what we played.
And I think part of my enjoyment of this is playing with people who had played through it in beta, you know, and kind of knew a lot of the, hey, we need to go here. Where do we need to go? Because honestly, I'm not paying attention to that stuff a lot. I just like following along and cooking food and making soups and being able to not. I don't feel like we're running Alex, you and I are running into any of the frustration points of like, where do we go? What do we have to do next? It is.
It is not an easily navigable game. I will say that.
No.
Like the lack of map and like the facility. I think we all kept saying on the stream, like I'm having a weirdly hard time like learning my way around here.
Yeah. Well, so the other thing is that like we are actually starting to run into that now because our guides have not actually played into the content that we are now in. So this is actually discovery time for all of us. But yeah, I think losing that early frustration of having someone who just kind of knows the basic structure of like, here's where you need to go in the beginning, here's the stuff we need to start building, helped a lot. But also just like the general moment-to-moment stuff and also the degree of freedom you have in kind of mucking around with your classes and your upgrades, I think is really cool. Because like you said, you're the chef, but you're also kind of doing some other things around the edges. I'm a medic, but I also am the one who just carries all the guns all the time. Like you can kind of play around with that stuff, and all the stat upgrades are really just tied to what you do. Like it isn't like I'm dumping points into this. It's like if you keep sprinting, your sprint number will just keep going up. If you never use stealth, your stealth number will never go up.
Yeah, and we've in our playthrough hit some things that just make the friction less, like the water filters, right? Like, oh my gosh, like we've got thanks to our cohort for building a sick base.
But the friction is never terrible in this game. Like it's never so crazy that I feel like I would get frustrated or just not want to play it anymore. But yes, once you start getting the better tools and start really building out the kinds of things you can do, it's a lot. There's a lot you can do.
Yeah. And it kind of just keeps going and going.
Like the thing I always decry is I don't like gameplay systems where at the beginning it sucks and then you have to upgrade to make it not suck. It doesn't suck in this game at the beginning. It's frustrating at times, but it's not bad. It's just that you get way cooler shit and way more streamlined shit as you go along. But the core initial loop of just running around and hitting stuff with sticks until you can build a better stick is still pretty fun.
Yeah, and it's not overly punishing, especially if you die. It's not that bad.
Yeah.
Which is good for me.
Good game. Very good game.
Fun game to play over a long stretch.
Mm-hmm. I just, again, have to shout out. I mean, my favorite thing about the game is just the utterly shameless Half-Life-ness of the whole thing.
It is
ridiculous. Like, when we first started playing it, I thought they had actually gone and gotten the Dr. Kleiner voice actor for it, and I'm not actually sure they didn't.
It is shameless.
As somebody who has like a pretty intense amount of nostalgia for the first Half-Life in particular, like it's pretty rad for that reason.
And the voice acting is generally good across the board. Like there's some really goofy stuff in there, but like even when they start trying to throw a little weight behind some of the lore stuff, like it all kind of works.
Yeah, it's also pretty silly.
It is very silly. And I think that's the thing I like most about it.
Brad, you're always welcome to come jump in.
Yeah,
in our play sessions.
I think I've still got it installed.
Yeah,
actually.
I've never been a better time to jump in and abiotic factor. We can make you some cool armor and some padded. I don't know what are you up to? You guys are wearing sick armor. I'm still wearing some forge armor. All you guys have like cyber legs and shit now. Yep. I'm just kind of, I follow behind a little bit and poke stuff with my spear.
Again, I have like 15 different guns now.
I like the fishing. All right. Abiotic factor. Very good. That is your number 4, which brings us back around, Brad, to your number 3.
All right. I'm going to say there's kind of a running theme among my top 3.
Okay.
And it starts with Keeper.
Okay.
The Double Fine walking a lighthouse game.
Okay.
All right.
I'm trying to suss out your maybe I know your theme already.
Okay. You probably do.
I probably do.
Keeper is an amazing interactive art piece. Art exhibit. Animated film, interactive. That sounds God almighty. Interactive animated film sounds so trite.
That's a very 2000s way of somebody like, describing a game.
But it kind of also feels like the sort of thing where like, okay, this is one of the first games I've seen that actually feels like it earns that. Versus that just felt like some really strained marketing 20 years ago, Like, this console can produce the visuals of Toy Story or whatever. This actually looks like and feels like an animated film in a way that is utterly convincing, This is the weirdest thing Double Fine has ever made.
And that's saying something.
By a lot, I think. Like, the gameplay is pretty thin. Like, you were mostly walking and occasionally solving some pretty light puzzles. But, like, this thing is just so wildly creative. Like, I know you guys saw some of it on that stream we did briefly.
My daughter is playing it now as well.
Really?
Yeah. I thought it would be a great game for her.
Yes, based on what you've said of her tastes, I think she probably would like it a lot. I don't know. Do you know how far in she is?
No, I set her up with it and then I had to go do something. So I'm not even sure how far she got.
There's some really wild mechanical stuff in this game. Like there's one place and there's like a time town in this game.
Okay.
where you are constantly manipulating time back and forth in a way that is just like beyond visually striking as the environment like ages and de-ages around you. Like it's just some really amazing stuff. Like there's some stuff I could do you guys care about spoilers?
Hey, we're here for it.
It's not a lighthouse for the whole game. Like it turns into a boat halfway through.
What?
Huh.
Like, yeah. So there are multiple chapters of this game, and the lighthouse becomes something different in each chapter, effectively. Like halfway through the game, it becomes an aquatic game for an hour or two.
Interesting.
And it's basically like the light on top of the lighthouse is the sort of personified bit of the structure, you know?
Oh,
like,
sure. Yeah. Like it's
the light is the eyeball. It's like what is it, Luxo Jr., the old Pixar short, you know what I mean? It's like the lamp part. The lamp part is its like head, face, whatever, and that ends up kind of getting attached to other structures throughout the game.
Okay.
So you're straight up doing boat stuff for a good chunk of the game, which is like completely different from the lighthouse stuff. The climactic final sequence of the game, you become like a lighthouse stag, elk sort of thing.
Okay.
Like you're literally galloping around with like wooden legs and stuff. It's weird shit, man. This game gets very surreal.
So
like visually just super, super inventive the whole way through. Go ahead.
Are you trying to like ward off some corruption in the world?
Yes. Yeah. There's kind of a vague, suggestive, surreal story about some kind of purification of the environment or something at the end. I'm not entirely sure what happened.
Is the bird a god? Does the bird awaken you?
No, but there is a very light story point. Like there is an arc. There's a narrative. Actually, there's quite a narrative arc for the bird now that I think about it.
Okay.
Because the bird has a child at some point through the game.
Aw.
And then from that point on, it's the bird and its baby bird with you.
Okay.
In a way that is just extremely charming. And there, I mean, okay, if we're just talking about the game, like you don't realize this through the entire game, but you kind of finally realize that the bird has a flock that it's been separated from.
Well, that's in the beginning. And, I think.
That's right. Yes,
yeah.
I'm sorry, I forgot there is a bit of that. So basically, you, in the course of kind of healing the land, you also reunite the bird and its baby bird with the flock.
Okay.
And there's a pretty poignant moment of the bird not wanting to leave you, but then choosing to move on and rejoin the flock at the end and fly away.
Okay. So the bird isn't necessarily keeping you alive.
No.
Okay.
No, it's a beautiful partnership.
It sounds like a lovely game.
It really is. And I know Microsoft published games are a bit fraught this year, but I don't know.
Listen,
I started to say I worry a little bit about Double Fine. I don't know.
I mean, as anybody,
I worry
Xbox
about any
games,
team
right?
under that banner right now. Yeah,
like they did survive those cuts earlier this year, but I don't have much of a sense of how well this game did. I mean, you know, people quote Steam numbers all the time. Who knows how many people downloaded it on Game Pass or whatever? But like, I really hope Double Fine is able to continue doing what they do.
Same.
And I really want to recognize this game because I think it is like the purest act of, well, whatever. I don't want to like take anything away from the other games they've made, but I started to say it's like the purest act of creation I have seen from them, but maybe it's more like the most unfettered act of create. You know what I mean? It's just, I don't get the sense that they held anything back from this for being non-commercial, you know?
No.
Or not having,
that does not seem like the vibe at all.
In fact, they put out a documentary about the making of this game that I have not watched yet, but I think I saw people quoting it where they, I think the vibe from this or from that documentary was kind of like, well, we've got Microsoft money to work with now, and we're going to make whatever the hell we want with it.
Yeah, look, until it really Microsoft says otherwise, right? Until
yes.
And I think that point is very. It feels more relevant today than maybe ever. Where a game like this, that if you have to be commercially successful, probably does not get made. You know, and released by an independent studio, at the size that Double Fine is, and maybe you could do it on a much smaller scale. We don't know how much longer games like this will even be tolerated inside bigger publishers.
Yep.
Right?
Mm-hmm. That is extremely it.
So, yeah. It's cool. I don't know. Does Double Fine have an announced project? I mean, do
After
people just
this,
assume
no.
they're working on like another Psychonauts or something?
I mean, they're probably working on something, but who knows?
Yeah. I would be shocked if it's another Psychonauts, but I'm sure they've got something, or maybe multiple somethings cooking. Actually, I think that documentary may mention that somebody else there who's not Tim Schafer is also running another project right now.
Okay.
I want to say that came out of that.
But Keeper is not Tim Schafer headed game, right? That was else.
This was Lee Petty who ran Stacking
Headlander.
Oh Headlander, that's the one I always forget. It was Stacking, Headlander, and Rad, if you remember Rad, for the 6 people who played Rad. Right before the pandemic started, that roguelike that they put out. So this is I think the 4th game that Lee Petty has. I think he was the art director on Brutal Legend.
Okay.
And maybe also Psychonauts. So he's like a visual art guy, and that comes across incredibly clearly in this game. Like, this is definitely one of the most like wildly cohesive visual things I've seen in a game in a long time.
Keeper.
Okay. Yeah.
You're number 3. Congratulations.
Yes.
Keeper.
Yes. Extremely expressive game.
That's going to bring us to my number 3. I think.
Give it to me.
I think, Alex. I'm not sure. But is now the time to talk about The Root Trees Are Dead?
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind just going and copy pasting that and putting it one over. I'm the worst. I'm literally looking at the list right now. That's where it is.
That's amazing.
How does this keep happening?
I don't know. That's great. The Root Trees Are Dead. This is a game we mostly played on stream. And look, I have to give it up for one Abby Russell, who really was carrying us through.
Deduce the shit out of that thing.
Through most of this. The Root Trees Are Dead is a fantastic
social deduction game, I think, is how they generally describe these sorts of games.
Yeah, you're basically using the kind of artifice of trying to trace. Look, all right, here's the setup. There has been a plane crash from this family. I think it's a plane crash. Is that right? I think that's. I
believe that's correct.
And everybody's in a rich family. Everybody's kind of coming after the money.
They own a candy company. It is an old money candy company.
Yeah, and you are tasked with kind of going back and trying to trace the lineage in the family tree and uncover any anomalies or anything weird in the family tree, which you might guess there's
unexpected branches, things like that.
Yeah, in terms of how inheritance might work out in this, right? Like it's and you're using kind of, what would you call it, like a mid-90s terminal here to kind of
the computers are extremely mid to late 90s, like that kind of.
This is 100% Windows 95.
And so you're kind of using that, and you've got a cork board, and you've got some notes you're taking. You're getting scans, and once in a while you got to knock on your door. Somebody will deliver more. Your mysterious benefactor will deliver more information to you, and you're basically searching, highlighting, and taking notes to piece together who is in this family tree on a giant cork board. And you have to get, I forget the exact number, but if you get like 5 right and hit submit, it'll lock it in, right? And you can kind of move on to the next bit there. It's a load of fun. I loved playing it with you guys. Again, shout out to Abby for helping us power through this stuff. The one with the memory, and she's just good at these games, and it made it a lot more fun to go through. It's maybe one of my favorite of these games, of this year, but maybe of all time.
Yeah.
It's got a bit of that Golden Idol in it as well.
See, that's the thing, is that like I respected Golden Idol, but I didn't actually like cotton to it that much. I kind of had the same thing with like what is the one with the fucking on the ship and all the murders? Oberdin, yeah. Like I didn't love Oberdin, though I respected the hell out of it. This one got me. Like it wasn't just me watching you guys play on stream. Like I went and played through this whole thing. And I usually find these games very frustrating because I'm not good at keeping track of like branching details like that. That's the thing that always screws me up, is like trying to hold more than a few of those things in my head at once and then just getting completely lost. This one, I think, is very approachable. It's very easy to sort of keep track of your evidence and keep a good lock on whatever thread you're kind of following down in the scope of the story. And while the story is not like overly surprising or like, you know, it doesn't really do a lot that you don't eventually start to figure out once you get about like halfway through it. But it's all delivered very well. And I think the actual mechanics of just social deduction in this are just really well done. Like it's very, like I said, it's very easy to play around with, but also it's just intricate enough to where it feels like there's some real meat there to uncover.
Yeah, and I think you always feel like there's just one more thing you need to go back and reread, right? Like you're just missing this bit of information, and they do a good job of breadcrumb trailing you and also marking off what evidence is 100% done or not, or at least that's in my memory. That's what they're doing. The whole thing gels well, and it just makes it a lot of fun to go through.
Now, I did not do the New Game Plus Root Tree Mania thing because that seemed like a bit much, but my understanding is people really liked that too.
You're not into Root Tree Mania?
Maybe I will, now that I'm on the break. Maybe I'll try going back to that. I was just like, yeah, you know what? I got my fill in the main campaign for a while, and then other games came around.
What does that mode do? Does it like randomize things or something? No,
I think it just adds a whole new tree to uncover. It's like like a much bigger branching tree to fuck around with.
I think you got to go deeper.
Okay,
that's great.
Also, you know, not that many people listening to this probably care, but this is a Godot engine game, which I think is cool as hell.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Godot being what seems to rapidly be turning into the leading open source game engine.
It's never been a better time to get into Godot.
Like here we are. Here's a game with a free open source engine at number 3 on a Game of the Year list. That's pretty cool.
It is cool.
Agreed.
I mean, with all the shitty things that have happened around Unity and Epic in recent years, you know, it's nice to see some emerging technology that is a bit more democratized.
Totally.
And to just to hammer it home, while it might not be the most glamorous game or whatever, it's maybe one of the more interesting games this year. It's not going to have the budget or the polish or the spit and shine of some other games that didn't make this list, but it's just interesting.
Hey, the handful of days I spent actually playing this were feverish.
It's good. Sometimes you just want to sit and click through fake computers.
Totally.
All right. That's bringing us... is it? Yes, this is a good place to take a break.
I think
Alex.
This is a good place to take a break.
This is a great place to take a break. So
there you go.
We're going to take a break. We've got our number 2s and then our number 1s and then our honorable mentions. I'm going to take another opportunity here in case you're tuning in, somehow skipped around. Don't forget, this is full of spoilers if you didn't catch it earlier on, or if you somehow didn't get the memo. You were in Game of the Year, folks. We're going to be spoiling stuff, especially as we get into our number 2s and number 1s, where we're going to be talking about why we think these are the best games we have played this year. So, we're going to take a break. We're going to come back with Brad's number 2. Stick around. All right, now we are back, and as promised, Brad, we are ready for your number 2 here.
Oh, are you?
I am ready.
Give me a deuce.
I'm ready.
You think you're ready for this?
I don't know if I'm ready for this. Yes.
Y'all ready for this?
Think again, motherfucker. No.
Oh, okay. Oh, shit.
Just kidding.
Okay.
Just kidding. I'm almost tempted to ask if you think you know what it is, but you don't have to guess.
I think I only know your number 1. I don't think I know your number 2.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
What if I just typed it into this field?
I would not have guessed that necessarily.
And what if it was Luminous Arise?
And if it's Luminous Arise, I think I would have guessed it because I feel like you said something about when I messaged you offline with a screenshot of something. I think I was showing you, hey, I have this spreadsheet or something, and you were like, Luminous Arise, you put like a maybe on. I think that clued me off to this is probably going to be when I was showing you my organization for how I was doing my list. So that's the only thing.
Do you know how hard they have to work to put an optional VR mode in a game and have that be the only way that I'm willing to play the game?
Are you solely strictly a VR mode?
I have not played this game on TV yet.
Okay.
I've only played it in the VR headset, even when I'm playing online.
So what did they get right in Luminous Arise? Because you're a
keeping-
big Lumines fan.
Yeah, yes, I love Lumines. I mean, that just goes without saying. Like, Lumines is probably number 2 behind Tetris on falling block puzzle games for me.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking here, not a big columns guy.
Okay.
Anyway, I love original Lumines anyway. That goes without saying. But like, I mean, they, you know what this game is. They did the Tetris effect thing, but way better in my mind.
Mm.
Like, I think the synesthetic experience of playing this game in the headset is just not the Tetris effect is like bad by any means. It's just better in this. It's just they go to way more places. Like it is just stretching creatively much. This is that theme I was talking about. Like these top games for me are all just like acts of unfettered expression. You know, like they all just feel like people who make games making exactly the game they want to make without anybody telling them what not to put in there. Which, I mean, you know, it's a whole conversation about whether that's always a good thing or not. Ask George Lucas, I guess, but you get what I'm saying. You know, it's like, I feel like it is a good time for getting games from like storied game creators who are just finally getting to do exactly what they want and nothing else. And this just
like less compromise, I think, is what you're maybe expressing there.
Like this feels like directly from the brains of Mizuguchi and friends to your VR headset.
Interesting. Okay.
To me, and like I just like the visual, oral, emotional experience playing through this the first time was just like stunningly memorable for me. Like I played through this entire game in one sitting.
Have you done?
And just loved every minute of it.
Have you done much of the other modes?
I still need to go to some of the challenge stuff. I've played.
Okay.
I tried to do the endless mode or the, what do they call the the marathon, like get through the whole thing in one run.
Oh,
which is quite tough.
I didn't even try that.
I got to level, I think I got to wave like the chapter 7 out of 9 of that and bombed out, and then you just have to start over again. I was like,
that's intense.
It's pretty harsh.
A little bit before I attempt this again. That's rough. Or it's just a long commitment. That's like a couple straight hours of Lumines. And I played online too, which yes, in the headset. And I play, like maybe I might get to the point where I try to just do the endless mode on a TV, but played a fair amount of them. Like enjoyed the multiplayer. It can be very tough, but those weird challenges are the one thing I have not spent a ton of time with in this. I should really go back to that. But it's really just the creativity and the stages they come up with and the union with the soundtrack and the transitions and the whole thing. Like it just, we've talked about Mizuguchi's like turn of the century trance EDM fixation, and like this feels like a Blue Sky game, in the way we talked about like games on the Dreamcast and games of that era. Like,
yeah.
It's more than just
that's the
music.
era that Miz comes from,
Yeah, yes, that's exactly it. Like that's the era that produced Rez, and Lumines was kind of on the tail end of that. Like it feels like he has never stopped releasing games in 2002.
Right.
This is the technology,
alternate timeline.
The technology continues to get better, and he just keeps putting out games in 2002.
Like he's using increasingly powerful technology to continue to render the ideas he had in like 2001. Yeah. And I don't think that's a bad thing.
Yes. And like they are just purely positive, uplifting, kind of life affirming ideas,
Yeah.
Like he and
corny or not, like I don't care. Like it is too transcendently uplifting to ignore or to deny.
He and like Jeff Minter, right? They have a vision.
Yeah.
And
yes. They are of a piece. Absolutely.
Yes. Totally. Like they've got a style and they do it.
And the technology
and these hyperfixations that they are going to put in front of you at any chance they get.
Yeah. But it really, again, like it's just kind of shocking to me that somebody actually made a VR game that I think is quintessentially VR, or like it is. I don't want to say it's the only way to play the game because, people have bought and played this and enjoyed it on a TV or a Steam Deck or whatever. But like, I'm trying to think how many other games have been enhanced this much by VR, and I just can't think of many or any.
Enhanced.
Setting, yes. Setting something like Half-Life Alyx aside, I mean, I'm talking games that are optionally VR.
Right. Yes.
Right.
And not made only exclusively for VR. Like just felt things playing through this game that will stick with me for a very long time.
Lumines arise and has risen to your number 2.
Rise
and like
from
it
your rave.
Kind of made me realize like it, something like this doesn't necessarily have to be something that you're going to play through 10 or 20 times,
No.
What is this game? 30 or $40? I forget. Like, it's got plenty of replayability in those other modes. But if you play through the journey mode like once or twice, I still think like I think like intensity of experience can be just as important as like kind of duration or longevity or what, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like even if you only play it once, but it really makes a huge impact on you, that is just as worthwhile as something you're going to play for 50 hours.
Totally.
But there's plenty of other stuff in there to do though. Yeah.
Yeah. Luminous Arise, number 2 on your list, Brad. It brings us to my number 2 here. Do you guys have any mental guesses here?
Yes, I think there are 2 games remaining, and the only question for me is what order they're in.
Okay, if I wrote,
and I think I know which one. I think I know which one this is.
If I wrote the single letter D, is that?
Yep, that's exactly what I was expecting to come out of your keyboard.
Well, D is for dispatch, and that's my number 2. And I don't know how anybody who has played this game doesn't have this near the top of their list. Dispatch, I think, is a phenomenal game. Maybe it's because it speaks to my FMV sense. I mean, this is a very narrative heavy game. This is not going to be the deepest game when it comes to gameplay in terms of mechanics, but in terms of getting sweaty, but in terms of story and delivering that story and being a whole lot of fun, man, give me more Dispatch. This game, we're doing Dragon's Lair, but for real now.
They might give you more Dispatch from some things.
I think they're going to give me more Dispatch. Look, I have a huge, people know I love FMV. People know I love Laserdisc. I loved, like I said, I love Dragon's Lair, love Space Ace. This is going in that direction. I love, The Walking Dead. I loved what Telltale was doing to a point until I kind of burnt out on it. Vinny remembers this, and I think Dispatch is the culmination of or merging of a lot of those different angles. It is highly produced, fantastically voice acted, and the writing in it, I think, is super fun. And so it is the story of a world where superheroes are prevalent, supervillains are also prevalent, and you run or work as a dispatcher for a company that puts heroes where they need to be in certain situations. The setup is you're an out of work superhero whose suit's been all busted up, and you're managing the kind of what's the DC Suicide Squad. You're managing kind of the villains who have turned into good guys here for your dispatching and kind of trying to turn them around, give them a second chance. And I think it does the Telltale thing well enough where what you're picking feels like it might be monumental, but maybe in the end, all things would have converged back anyway into this in choice points. So it's hard to tell if you chose blue instead of red, how the story would have changed. Maybe it would have always gone to this conclusion, but it makes you feel like those choices matter. And I think some of them genuinely do. At least 2 or 3 of them matter. You can cut people from your staff, or at least a person gets cut from your staff at some point, and then you face that person later on in the game, right? So in my playthrough, I cut the assassin in the game because she was a real asshole. And so I cut her loose, and I kept the man bat, the guy, I think Sonar, I forget his actual name. And I kept him, and Coop gets cut. And then at the end, Coop is the one you're wind up fighting as a kind of mini boss or sub boss in the game. And, you can choose who you want to get it on with. Are you going to have a relationship with Invisigal? Are you going to have a relationship with your boss, which maybe might be a little fraught? Who knows? These things happen. I think it's a lot of fun, and I think the story is told well. I think they deliver on the episodic nature of it by not necessarily taking forever to get these episodes out. They basically delivered what was like not even one a week. I think it was more than that. Wasn't the?
I think it was two a week, wasn't it?
By the time I was near the end, they had all come out. So I came to it a little bit late. It's just awesome. I want to see more from this. I think this was originally. This could be hearsay or urban legend, but I think this has been documented. Like this was originally pitched as like a Netflix show or something like that, right?
It pitched as an animated series, is my understanding. And then when they already had an animation studio basically lined up to do it. So when they shifted to the games, they were just like, well, you're making a game now.
This is done extremely well. I just checked. Going by the authoritative metric of Steam reviews, as we often do. This is doing very well.
It's awesome. Like I said, the gameplay in it's going to be, at first I wasn't that into the gameplay, the kind of dispatching, but as you continue on, you actually get some points to drop in, you get different powers and abilities for the superheroes, and the tactical stuff actually makes much more sense. It actually gets much deeper where you're like, oh, if this hero goes on this mission with this other hero, I'm going to get a buff, or I have to really think about who's going to go where. There are two things I think that I would love to see them revisit or get rid of. One is there's a randomness to the mission succeeding. Even if you fulfill most of the requirements, there still feels like this randomness because there's this bouncing ball inside the meter of whether you succeeded or not. It's hard to tell how random that is, but I've done the same mission twice and had different results with the same people, and that's
just real life, man.
Yeah,
the ball has a story to tell.
Doesn't feel good though. Doesn't feel good. And the second thing I wish they would maybe revisit is some of the hacking stuff is fine, but it's a little. I don't know. Light, let's say, on the. It's totally fine. It's not the most fun gameplay. Other than that, everything's great. This game's great. Cool. Voice acting is fantastic. I forget who does the old guy in it, but you guys know who it is.
That's not the Jeffrey Wright character, is it?
I think it is the Jeffrey Wright character.
Then yes. He's great. He's fantastic. Keep it going.
His son is also in it.
His son?
Yeah, Jeffrey Wright's son is also in this game.
Oh, really? Do you know the credit?
No, I have no idea what character.
Okay.
Actually, they said they were on stage together at the Game Awards and talked about it, and he said there, but I can't remember.
Okay. It's so cool. I just can't talk up this game enough. For people who know what you're getting into, this game will deliver. If you are expecting an action superhero game, it's not going to do it.
It's not quite that.
Yeah, but it's so cool. That's Dispatch. That's my number 2 with a bullet. Just a great game. All right, Alex, that's going to bring us to your number 2 on the list.
Well, my number 2 is not with a bullet. It is, in fact, instead with a, let's just say, a flung sentient cat. Skin Deep.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah.
All right, sure.
Yeah.
Remember this game?
I do.
Game?
This is in my honorable mentions. Sure.
Yeah, so I believe, well, if I haven't written it there yet, officially, yes, no, I did put that down already.
Yeah, well, it's near my honorable mentions, for sure.
I love this game. I've always enjoyed Blendo's stuff. These are the makers of Quadrilateral Cowboy. I will never get that right on the first try, ever. 30 Flights of Loving and some other beloved indies. This is, I think, their best game, both in terms of completeness and just sort of like the overall vibe. You are going to these different spaceships, space stations. You are rescuing the cat crew that is on board, usually because they have been captured by pirates of varying stripes. And then you have to go around and take out the guards and figure out how to rescue all the cats. And the way you do it, it's an immersive sim. Like, you are fucking around in the environments, using different tools, breaking things open, getting a lot of unintended consequences sometimes when you do that stuff. It has a real chain reaction kind of vibe to a lot of the things that you do. And that is the joy of it for me. Like, the just moment to moment of running around, stealthing, figuring out how to solve these puzzles is really fun, but it's also great when the chaos erupts and you don't know how this is all going to shake out.
And it can shake out pretty poorly if you're not careful.
You know, there have been a lot of instances, let's just say, when maybe a window broke and a whole lot of things started getting sucked out into space.
Mm-hmm.
Not unintentionally.
Yeah,
this game's great.
Yeah, I liked what I played of it. I didn't wind up sticking with it, but I enjoyed my time I spent with it.
I think the writing is really charming. I think the voice acting is really good. Every time you rescue one of those cats and they go meow, it's just like a pleasure zone in my brain going off.
Yep. Yeah. I knew I loved this game when they introduced the replicator item. And you can't use the replicator on itself, or you can't replicate another replicator, but you can just replicate the keys that you need to finish the level.
Yes.
So you don't actually have to, like, they don't force you to, they don't lock that out. I love a game that obeys its own rules. And it's just like, all right, you find one key, you can just make more of them until you have enough to go beat this level. In fact, I didn't figure this out. Somebody else clued me into this. The guards walk around with the keys on their belts.
Yep.
You can just stealth up behind a guard and replicate the key while it's still on their belt and never even fight them. Like that, just to give you an idea of the range of possible solutions in this game. Like they it's a real ass immersive sim, you know.
Gotta love a game that rewards cleverness.
Totally.
Yep.
And also just
kind of game.
Rewards accidental stupidity in equal measures. And I think the reason this immersive sim maybe works better than some others in the past is because they have a real good sense of scale and how much bullshit they can put into the environments that they are working with. Like, none of these ships ever feel like incredibly daunting. They can get long, but it feels like it is. The more you experiment, everything feels very achievable.
Yeah, the levels are bite size enough that they're all pretty approachable. Like, it's a good sit down for half an hour and have a good time and finish a level, and then you can stop at a natural stopping place.
Skin Deep, Alex, number 2.
Yeah.
Tremendous game.
Shout out to very creative use of the Doom 3 engine. Also,
Is it? I think I had forgotten that.
Blendo makes all of their games on open source id Software engines.
Oh,
and wow. I think QuadCal was also on Doom 3. I think all their games before that were on Quake 2. But yes,
that sounds right.
I think it is hilarious that this is a Doom 3 engine game.
That is kind of amazing. Keeping it alive.
It's fun. It's fun.
That is Skin Deep, Alex. That is your number 2. Should we take our last break here before we get to our number 1?
I think we should do our number ones, and then we should take our break and do the honorable mentions.
Okay. All right. I know
That's what I think.
I know we just took a break. Let's do it. Let's keep going.
Let's get our number ones.
Let's keep going.
Here we go.
Brad
Shoemaker.
Buckle up.
I'm sure this is a big surprise to everybody.
Drum rolls.
And the game award goes to Claire Obscure. I'm sorry. No,
not this time.
No, it's Death Stranding 2.
Oh, Death Stranding 2 on the beach.
It's Death Stranding. Yes, that one.
You heard about this?
The one you said.
Yeah.
I don't think this is a surprise to particularly many people.
No.
The thing that is a surprise to me is how much I liked this game. Like, seriously, going up to and including installing it and starting it and playing it for the first few hours, I had no idea this thing was going to land where it did for me. Like, this is my favorite game of this generation by kind of a lot.
Oh, wow.
It really, really just blown away at how much this clicked with me. Like,
No, go ahead.
I think I said some version of this maybe on the podcast after I'd finished it, but I love a game that, open world games are the most templated, overdone. I mean, they are like the core of big budget video games, right?
Yes.
Like from Grand Theft Auto down, the open world game is what all the big AAA games are, with some exceptions, right? These days.
Mm-hmm.
But I still feel like there just are not that many developers doing interesting things with open worlds. And this one is up there among the most interesting at this scale of production, a game that is this ostensibly expensive, because this game looks really expensive.
Yes.
it does look very expensive.
From the quality of the straight up world visuals to the caliber of the actors they got and the quality of the cutscenes to just top to bottom, it looks like they put a lot of money into this game. And it's a logistics game.
Yeah.
I know I know the reputation is it's a delivery game, and like on the ground, that is still mostly what you're doing in terms of mission objectives. But like, look at what they added to this game. Like, this is a big budget AAA game where you are like, a lot of what you're doing is building monorails and planning the logistics of materials shipments.
Yeah.
To, you know what I mean? Like, they got, you know, not a ton of Satisfactory into this game, but a decent amount, you know, it's
a little bit.
It's a very constrained version of what you get in like a factory builder. It's not near. In fact, I would love it even more if you could build roads and monorails anywhere you wanted.
Yeah.
Which they didn't quite get to, but like, there's enough of that in there. It's the combination of the big name actors, the lavish production values, like the much better combat, like much better action, like variety of items and stuff in this game, with the fact that you are basically shipping things this entire game, that like really does it for me. And just the, like, speaking of immersive sims, I know I've mentioned before, like, other publications have made the argument that this game is kind of immersive sim adjacent, and I totally get where they're coming from on that.
There are some elements they're certainly pulling from those.
There are so many items in this game that you can make and do things with. Like, there are just so many different ways to play it. You know, like, you literally are like customizing how you equip things, you know?
It's definitely a lot.
Yeah. I mean, not, you know, did I use every single item in the game? No, like, there were certainly a dozen or more items I probably never touched by the end of this, but still.
But you want every item.
Still, yes, absolutely. But there's still also, I got the level 3 stabilizer. I don't know if I mentioned. Remember we talked about that at some point?
Yeah. Is it everything they promised?
You can fucking take a flying leap off the tallest cliff in that game, and you will just like land like a feather at the bottom. Like, game changer for getting the platinum in this game. There's just so much goofy shit that whatever. We've talked this game to death. I think you probably have a pretty good sense of why I like it, but
it's the thing that I said a little bit when I put it at number 10. I think, Vinny, you also kind of touched on this as well. It's just such a massive improvement in every way over that first game.
Yeah.
Like, that first game to me feels very much like a proof of concept compared to what they are doing here.
Yeah,
that was going to be my main question to you, Brad, was, but maybe you're about to answer this, but like, what do you think about Death Stranding 2 kept you going versus Death Stranding 1, your time with it?
It's just so much more pleasant to play.
Yeah, okay.
Well, the story also worked a lot. Well, I didn't finish one,
the story
so I can't
is
say
so much more involved in this one and so much more interesting.
I can't say the story wouldn't have worked for me in the first game, although stuff I heard about the ending, I'm not so sure. But, you know, and also, like, I wasn't 100% on board with where the story was going until I saw where it went. You know, like, I was kind of in a wait and see mode on that a lot. But, like, between all the crazy shit we streamed, and then, like, Alex, you did not see the kind of, like, poignant actual end of the game. But, and also, I mean, spoilers for the actual end of Death Stranding 2 here. Like, that final sequence, that final, like, 5-minute cutscene of all the stuff around Fragile's death and the stuff with Neil and Lou, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, Vinny, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like that cutscene where there's literally just, like, people literally passing the baby from person to person, you know, that whole thing. Like, what is the phrase? Like, Neil is like the stepdad who stepped up.
Right?
Did they say that in the game?
No, they don't say that in the game. That's like the internet. That's like the internet meme.
There.
That's the internet meme, but that's exactly what that is. Like, he, in the afterlife, like in the afterlife, he stepped up and protected the wife, or not the child of his former lover, even though it was not his child. You know what I mean? Like, like kind of he like atoned for. He atoned for the awful things he did in life by protecting this child in death until she could be returned to the world. You know, whatever. I thought it closed a loop really nicely at the end of the game in a way that was very poignant.
I think Death Stranding 2 sticks a landing in a way that I just did not expect Kojima to be able to do.
Yeah,
you know,
same.
Like it is. That was very impressive.
I think it's the most like emotionally human and touching thing he's done. Like, he's maybe
somewhat coherent.
Yes.
Yeah, totally. Yes.
Like, it's still weird. It's still extremely weird. It still can get very goofy, but the first game really just felt like a lot of messy emotions that were just kind of barfed out onto the page and did not tell a particularly great or coherent story. This time feels so much more considered and measured. Like, even with all the ridiculousness around the edges, like, it feels like he knows what he wants to say and how he wants to say it in a much, much more assured way than the last time around.
Yeah, and the whole Fragile thing, just, you know, spoiler again, like, the thing with Fragile is that you find that she actually dies at the beginning of the game in the kind of basically opening events. Or she dies in the place between life and death, which means that her soul is already dead, but her body hasn't caught up.
Yeah.
So effectively, she knows that she's already dead for the entire game, and like, you know, basically when you win the game, she dies effectively, knowing the whole time that she was good. But like that's literally Auron from Final Fantasy X. Like that's just that again.
Yeah.
But still, the way she presents it of like, I knew my time was very limited, and I wanted to spend that time with you, kind of thing, was just like, again, like you said, like really grounded and like works in a way that I wouldn't expect from Kojima.
It's
so
more,
much.
It feels more mature.
Yeah, yes, it feels
in some
more.
ways.
A lot of the storytelling feels a little more grown up than some of the stuff he's done before, in a way that I just thought really worked really well.
But also has like amazingly fun, goofy sequences, like the dance sequences and all the Die Hardman stuff is dumb.
The photo taking mini game on the ship, like a million different little things, the constellations in the sky when you're in the hot tub, like it's still dumb Kojima stuff.
Yeah,
for sure. Also, like, I know it's not new anymore, but the Strand game aspect really did it for me.
Which aspect of it?
Just all of it, just the people's structures and signs and stuff being all over the place.
You like mean the multiplayer Strand stuff?
Yeah, like okay. That's what, you know, that's Kojima's goofy term for. Do you remember transfarring?
Of course.
I do remember transfarring.
I was reminded of transfarring recently, and it reminded me that he has come up with a lot of goofy terms for pretty mundane gameplay elements. Anyway, yeah, Strand game is basically, you know, a game that connects people, and like, I don't know, like it's not that different from what they did in the first game, but like I really did have a feeling of kind of like asynchronous togetherness by the end of this game from just seeing people's stuff everywhere, you know. And particularly, actually, this is where it really came together for me. This was in the first game and I completely forgot about it, but you know, you can see the paths on the map. When you pull up the map, you see like roads as such. Like, I was walking those paths the whole game, and occasionally I was like, those are some weird ass roads. Who would design a route as like circuitous as this? It's just kind of winding all over the place. This, whatever, I guess this is the path. This is where it's easier to drive the truck. Like, only after I finished the game did I remember, like, oh wait, those roads are generated by where the collective player base is walking.
Yeah.
And like, that was a fun thing to remember after I had already played through the game, of like, oh, this whole time those paths I've been following are because that's where all the other players are also walking, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
Like it, as corny as it is, like it kind of works, you know? It kind of does feel like you were sort of collectively contributing to an experience with everybody else. In a way that I just really like, I mechanically just like everything this game does mechanically is just something that I am super into at this point in time.
That stuff was in some of that stuff was in the first game. I think it's refined and much.
It's just not as well realized. In that one.
I think it's much better realized and much more relevant. I think in this game,
totally.
You know, there was some talk. I didn't really engage in it or catch some of it, but you know, I was able to absorb a bit of the. Hey, maybe they've taken away some of the friction, and that's making this game not as engaging as the first one. I don't agree with that. As someone who played through the first one,
there's still friction. Like the combat isn't nearly as much friction, but like everything else, like there's still work and there's still effort that you kind of need to put into that stuff to survive out there. And I feel like if anything, it's just really well balanced compared to that first game.
Yeah, I wouldn't have minded a little more like fine-grained control over how much stuff appears in your world, you know, like if you could say, I don't know, either by percentage or by item or something, just be like, you know, maybe seed like 50% fewer ladders and climbing gear into my game or something like that, you know, like I kind of wouldn't mind.
The A-Pass upgrades have some of the
A-Pass upgrades might have that, but even there, I feel like the wording is kind of oblique enough that I wasn't quite sure what it was doing at all times.
I just thought the number of options they gave you, that's probably the thing that seems most different to me than the first game, where you're just overwhelmed, almost overwhelmed with different ways to approach a situation. Like your loadouts could be, you want to go into a combat situation and just go whole hog out there with guns blazing, or you want to punch, there's just so many different, the mechs, robots, automated things, turrets. It's a lot.
Like you mostly settle on a subset of stuff you like, but then talking to other people, like I never would have tried that big bore handgun if you hadn't told me it was baller. And it's like, that thing is incredible. You know, like it is fun to kind of stretch out and try some other stuff that you wouldn't have thought of.
Some people kept swearing by that the coffin as I hate that thing.
Yeah, I
don't like it at all.
Real love-hate
Hate is such a
relationship
strong
with coffin.
It is a strong
coffin.
word, and I apply it. I have lost more cargo with that thing by taking a nosedive or hitting a rock on that thing.
Yeah, so again, I have a very love-hate relationship with that thing. I definitely have not reloaded the game more for anything other than the fucking coffin board. Like there was one time that I reloaded like 4 times in a row on an autosave because I kept wiping out over a ridge on the coffin board and breaking my cargo.
But then again, I didn't really use it to cross like tar lakes and stuff like that. I mostly use it in the snow.
It gets increased speed and battery efficiency on tar and water, so you can start using the rivers as highways and just fly.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's the type of shit I love about this game. There are so many nuances to the getting around in the world and how you build things and how you spec and just all that stuff. It's just so endlessly customizable. This is exactly the type of stuff I love in an open world game.
So I think for me, some of my why it's lower on my list is probably because of having gone through and seen a lot of it in Death Stranding 1. But I think back to an earlier thing you said, Brad, of it having some DNA of factory games, but it doesn't do the factory game stuff I really wanted to do sometimes, right? Where I'm just like, oh man, how come I can't just send a message to this mining facility to send a shipment of ore to this? I have to teleport there, trigger a mining thing, and then go, just like 5 steps too many to get to what I want, where I want the full automation, right? Like I just want, hey, as long as, can I just load this thing up with chiral crystals and keep pumping out alloy and fill up this other thing? It's not that game, but I think sometimes I wanted it to be.
Yes, there were definitely, I talked about this some, there were definitely multiple moments where I wished it was a slightly different game than it is.
Yeah.
I came out with it, also out of it with a laundry list of little things that I would have liked to see. But, that's a balancing act, like combining that type of freeform, full-on building game with this type of story-driven, like manicured open world. Like that's probably a tough line to find because, again, like who else is doing games like this, frankly?
Nobody.
Not many.
Like who else at this scale of production is doing a game this weird and this offbeat and that brings these specific types of influences together? Like I will say Video Games Chronicle just, I think yesterday posted they gave this their game of the year, and then Jordan Middler did the write-up, and he straight up wrote in there, he basically said like at 62, Kojima is not going to make many more games like this. And like that line hit me like a fucking ton of bricks.
Yeah.
Like not even just about Kojima, like just in general, where we are getting in time, like, yes, for me personally, with regard to this game, like I found a game that clicked with me on literally every level possible, and to think like, oh, he might only make like 2 more games after this, or 3 at most, or something, like that's sad, but also just, time is marching on with respect to the age of the medium. And like all the people who were making games early on in the industry are going to retire and pass on at some point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like given the themes of the game,
rather than later.
Given the themes of the game itself, like that notion. I mean, of course, everybody knows it in the back of their mind, but just reading it put that succinctly really, really just kind of knocked me over for a second.
To add maybe a slightly lighter lift to that, there will be other people who come up and make amazing games. It won't be the end of good games, but
no,
for
totally
singular
not.
vision, I think is what you're saying.
That's what I mean. It's like it's just like the David Lynch thing. Like absolutely nobody is David Lynch,
But David Lynch will inspire other people to make stuff, and I think that's amazing.
Like Kojima's made that same point about the next generation of people. Like you're not wrong, but that's again, that's what I mean though about like finding something that works for you specifically. That doesn't always come along that often.
No,
it's like 2 or 3 games a decade for me. It seems like, just thinking back over the last 20 years.
To be your number 1 game this year, Death Stranding 2 and beyond. It sounds like a real place in your gaming your overall gaming list. You said I don't want to misquote you, but you said of the generation,
favorite game this generation. Yeah. Granted, there have not been a ton of as many releases this generation as past, let's say, but still
true.
When we did our that thought exercise, when everybody was doing it, what was it, the games of the last 20 years of the century or whatever? What was it? The last 2 decades? You think this would have made it onto your list?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah?
Well,
Okay.
I think so. I mean, okay, the first decade of this century was a very fruitful decade for very good video games, but it's very possible.
Okay.
Like this, I don't know. It might crack an all-time top 10. I'm not sure.
Oh yeah.
Maybe.
I mean, you don't have to commit to that. Don't feel pressure.
Yeah, I'm not going to make you do that.
I can't say for sure it would, but it's up there.
Let me end by asking you on this one.
Okay.
Any chance this was not going to be your number one? Did it have to fight for this spot on this list?
I mean, since when? Like since you
finished it, when you were thinking about your list,
zero.
Okay,
like absolutely
zero. This was cemented in there.
Like it was.
That's cool.
The easiest choice since. Well, again, like I said, there's like 2 or 3 games a decade for me. Like Breath of the Wild year, Red Dead Redemption 2 year. Those were also just like, okay, it could not be anything else.
Right.
But this is our Doom 2016. Like it is in that stratum of this is just it. Like
it sounds like, and
that's it. And that's all.
Death Stranding 2, your number one. It sounds like if we had to pick Brad Shoemaker and Alex Navarro, an overall number one game, we would have a lot of trouble because it sounds like you really like Death Stranding 2.
Mm-hmm.
My number one game, I really like. I mean, you guys know it. It's in the same way that we all knew it was Death Stranding 2 for you.
Mm-hmm.
A crowd favorite. It's it almost feels weird for me to put this in here because there's nothing left to say about this game. There are no more accolades to give this game, but Claire Obscure Expedition 33 is my number one game. I feel like typing that in makes me feel like what is it, like a front runner, like a crowd chaser, like somebody who's just like, look, I like this game a lot. I want to say I came to this game before it had taken over everything. So I want to.
You're getting hipster about this shit, is what you're saying. I was into Claire Obscure before all you fucking posers were into it.
I was smoking Expedition 33 before everything got too weird.
I thought there was a chance that it might be Dispatch, honestly, until you typed Dispatch at number 2. I was like, from the sound of things, Dispatch might have actually slid up there.
I could have seen it,
but yeah. No, it's Claire Obscure Expedition 33, and like again, talk about a game that really doesn't need to have its day anymore, because it almost feels gratuitous at this point, right? Like the Game Awards was almost like a showing, so I'm just gonna put that off to the side.
Those things. Who cares? This is our awards. Damn
that's
it.
Right. I'm gonna talk about it personally for me. I think the where Dispatch did everything right for me in the story. But maybe the mechanics of Dispatch were not the greatest. I think Claire Obscure does pretty much everything right in the story and also nails the mechanics of its combat mechanics. I think they are exceptional. I think the active combat that happens in Claire Obscure is some of the best turn-based, if not the best turn-based combat I have done that makes me feel like I have actively always participating in the combats. I'm not just buttoning through everything. And I remember when we talked about it, I think, Brad, you saw our preview of this, right? Like you came back and we're talking about this game from a while ago.
I played it at a GDC event. It was a little compromised though. Like the demo station was having some issues. Like it was not the best way to play that game.
And And I remember we were kind of talking about it. We were trying to describe what that combat might be like. Is it like a Mario RPG, right? Like, are you timing things? And really, this game goes so far beyond anything I have encountered in terms of my exposure to turn-based combat like this. The setting up of every other character in your party to combo off of the previous character or the party as a whole is so good and so rewarding. The outfitting and equipping your party members to work as one giant unit that has to basically not Rube Goldberg its way, but to fire off in exactly the right way in the right sequence to just hit that nuclear hit is so satisfying when it all works out. Be like, okay, this is going to pop. Then this is going to pop. This person's going to die, come back to life, have all this stuff. This is how this is going to work. And then I'm going to fire off this mega bomb of a hit is so awesome. And that's just the mechanical side of it. I think the story side really delivers pretty much beat for beat. I think once you're rolling in the story, I found it hard to disengage from it. I never really felt like it was getting too far afield. I don't think it ever got too lost in its JRPG-ish roots and stuff. I think it stayed on a very coherent, very focused track, kept enough mystery involved that you want to keep seeing things to the end without it being, for me at least, too predictable by the time you reach its conclusion. And very satisfying. I found it to be emotional. I found it to carry weight with it. I found it not to be too hokey. And that's the JRPG arc and danger sometimes is like, look, once you've spent 60 hours with this thing, you're just fully invested. You don't care what the hell they're saying anymore. They can be talking about the turtle god in the earth and its mother, and you're like, yes, of course.
Yeah, sure.
This
Whatever.
is what's happening. I'm so invested. But I think this game does have a genuinely good story, even if you are not fully invested 60, 70, 80 hours into it. It's so good. And it's better, I think, than I ever expected it to be. I picked it up because people had already started talking about it being something special. Like, hey, this is a really special one. You should try this out. Think you might like this. And I was like, I don't know if I have time in my life for a game like this, but let me pick it up and let me check out what's going on here. And I just ran with it. I think it's so good. It's been talked to death about the voice acting, amazing in it. The performance capture, amazing in it. It's very good. Yeah, sorry, Brad.
Is it 60, 70 hours, or were you just throwing that out as an example?
Let me see. I can tell you how many hours I put into it right now.
I wasn't under the impression it was like that long, but maybe I'm inferring too much from the fact that it's not $70. Like it's 50, right? I think. I always got the sense it was a little smaller in scope, but again, maybe I'm kind of assuming too much. Can I beat you to your own profile?
I don't know. You probably can, because I have too much stuff out, but I don't want. I'm trying not to mess up my recording here.
Let's see.
I 100% in it. So
can you trust the number, or do you leave it running?
I
did. Question.
Do you have it up?
I am almost there.
Okay, I'm just gonna let you run with it.
Oh wait, hang on. Now it's sort. Oh, you can only sort recently played for the top 10.
Okay.
I don't know how fast I can find this.
Okay,
thanks a lot, Steve.
Fair enough.
Wait a minute. Hang on. Yeah. There's another way to do this if you want to keep talking.
Sure, I can keep talking about it.
I'll get there eventually.
It's got great characters. It's got Monoko, one of my favorite characters in this game. He's the one who collects the feet of his enemies to get his powers, of course. They're mostly not squishy.
You think of feet guys mostly being kind of passive and not really that aggressive, but they're out there.
He's again voice acted very well.
Wait, you played this on PS5, didn't you?
Yes. Why? You're in the wrong
that's
spot.
why I can't find it. No, I was looking at Steam. I thought you played this on PC.
No, I would have to go look it up. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think we can get that information easily.
Is that on their web interface? Does that surface their?
Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, look, it's not that important.
It's not a huge deal. Yeah, I
am just kind of curious. I thought I was up there. I don't know if I can find that very easily. If you find my profile, that's fine. It's just so good. I really don't know too much else to say about it. It's the #1 game of the year. And
one thing I know is that there is no shortage of places to find people talking about this video game.
Yeah. I mean, I know I'm alone out there in the,
real iconoclast.
Really out on a limb.
I know. Like we pull out a lot of games here. Sometimes they're just the smaller games. I'm just going to go out on a limb and say, Claire Obscure. Sorry if you're watching the video. Sometimes when I'm just chatting about stuff, I didn't pull up any of the amazing visuals from this game. Oh, what a crew. Yeah. I don't have anything else to add, really. Except
is that the actual Eiffel Tower? Or is it an Eiffel Tower stand-in? Or should I not ask that?
I think you should play the game and find out.
Okay. All right. Sure.
That's my answer. I think it is. I would love to just know specifically what you thought, Brad, of the combat, because there is a way, I think, to play this game for somebody who engages in the kind of tactical part of it. To play this game, I think, under-leveled and just very reflexively, like with sweaty, somebody who's like, I'm just not getting hit here. That was I've seen people who said like, the back third of this game, I never saw an enemy turn because they were too good.
Seems bananas to me and maybe almost too unbalanced, but yes, that's exactly the implication. Just like my chains or my tactical setups were so intense that I was just laying waste to everything before it could touch me type stuff.
Yeah.
Sounds really interesting.
That wasn't me. I mean, look, I was on a pretty good build, I'm going to say, but like, by the end of the game, I felt like I had tried to 100% everything. I was pretty strong, but there are some, any good JRPG, you have your optional battles, and I had my one optional battle I absolutely had to cheese.
Yes, do they have their weapon equivalents? I'm sure they do. Their emerald weapon and all that shit.
Yeah. I there was one battle I couldn't win. I had to cheese it in a way that's like I had to go look up some builds that were like, okay, look, just build out this way. If you have all the things for this, you could do this without the enemy again taking a turn, kind of like you said.
It seems like the genre may have named that type of enemy a super boss.
Okay.
Like a super boss, meaning an optional boss that's actually way harder than the actual end boss.
Is that something that's like you have to do it after the game, or? I'm
sure it varies by game.
Okay.
I can't remember how those mid-period Final Fantasy games handled it. I think because those games just end, so they don't put you back in the world. So yeah, you definitely have to go do those before the end of the game.
That's my number one, you guys.
All right.
Sorry I couldn't get my hour counts easily here.
Yeah, I gave up. I could not find an easy way to pull up other people's PSN profiles.
Is it probably, it's probably on the PSN app, not that we have to go look on it, but right on,
it's fine.
On the one on my phone.
I trust you that it was a lot.
I don't know. That's now I'm kind of curious. All right, look, I've got the app up in my hand. I've
done it. I've gone to how long to beat. Main story 28.5 hours.
No,
that's way. That's a pretty good chunky solid. That's like a good solid story length for a game of this type. Completionist main and sides 44.5, completionist 66.
Oh yeah, man, that seems less than I would have thought.
That's pretty standard for those Final Fantasy games, I think, to do everything.
I don't know. My Final Fantasy, I feel like my Final Fantasy game, that last one I played was a lot more. But that's, look, that's what are you gonna do? I think I read didn't they cite 10 as a battle inspiration for this game? Did I dream that up? I think that's right. I mean, it's got the turn order, right? Doesn't this game show you turn order? Yeah, it totally does. Yes, that is extremely a 10 thing. 10 shows you turn order?
Yeah. Yeah, that was kind of a major component of that game.
Maybe I should go back and play some more Final Fantasy X. Is that what you're saying?
Sure.
That's not what you're saying.
You know what? I'm going to make that a podcast project for next year. I will absolutely talk to you about Final Fantasy X.
Yeah? Are you saying I should play it?
I'm not. Have you never played it?
No.
What?
Nope.
Oh my God. You shouldn't say that into a microphone.
That's the one with the Titus, right? And
Titus and Yuna and Sin.
Yep. Nope. I think I played the intro of it and stopped.
Man.
Yep.
Man.
It probably got up to the point where you couldn't rename the characters, and I stopped.
I feel like that. Well, you can rename Titus, I think, but
they never say that. They never say his name.
That 10. No, they don't. 10 might be a minor Rosetta Stone for modern video games. I don't know.
Okay.
That game influenced a lot of other stuff. There are some things about it that probably don't hold up super well at this point. Anyway, not to hijack this podcast.
that's going to do it for my number one. And I'm very happy with it. And I think it's a fantastic game. Can't wait to see what comes out next. I think there's some more content coming out for Claire Obscure.
Really?
And the world rejoices. Yeah. I think that's what they said. Alex, that's going to bring us to your number one.
Aha. Wow. Really closing things out here, huh? All right. Well,
well, we're going to have some honorable mentions. So
no, I know. I'm just saying. Do you have any guesses?
No. I mean,
I know exactly what it is. I know 1000% what it is. 100%.
Okay.
Yeah, but I don't want to like, what's the term?
Give me the first letter.
Spot. B.
Give me the first letter. Yep, you're right.
Oh,
baby steps.
Yes, it is baby steps. Yes.
Yep.
It is 100% baby steps.
It is 100% baby steps. Okay.
This game kicks ass. And yes, it is frustrating in the grand tradition of the Bennett Foddy oeuvre, but I think this is by far the most video gamey, most accessible, most approachable version of the Bennett Foddy punishment, as I like to call it. And I think it is also just a really charmingly weird game. Like,
yes,
it's two things. The mechanics are great. I think it is frustrating, certainly, but it is frustrating in ways that are entirely intentional. It's the kind of game that I absolutely would not have persevered through if I thought it was too broken or too nasty as far as like the walking mechanics and the falling over and all of that. It can be very mean-spirited, but it's mean-spirited in funny ways, and that is the thing that I draw the line between. If you can make me laugh through my own suffering, you win. I'm on board. I'll go with it. And this game constantly made me laugh. Constantly.
Like comedy is not always done very well in video games, or is easy to do well, and like this game kind of makes it seem effortless. Like it's just really fucking funny.
It's like a physical comedy simulator, you know?
Yes,
like
both,
it is
actually. Yeah. Like I think the cutscenes are incredibly well done and funny, and those are all like straight just authored and rigid. But also, yes, the action, the emergent comedy is perhaps even better.
I saw somebody posted, and this could even have been my moment of the year, but I didn't get up to this in the game, but somebody posted all the interactions with the ice cream delivery. Did you guys see that? To deliver the ice, and they're just cracking up at all the takes, but by the time they're done, it's very good.
So my understanding is, the main character,
I don't know what it is.
Yeah, the main character, Nate, is voiced by the lead designer, Gabe Cazillo. Most of the other characters were voiced by Bennett Foddy.
Wow. I didn't know either of those things. That's kind of crazy.
And so my understanding is that in order to get more improvisational weirdness out of this, Bennett would constantly throw like unexpected lines at Gabe and force him to like respond in the moment of like, okay.
That reads incredibly, but yes, because like Nate's VO in particular sounds extremely improvisational in a way that's hard to fake.
Yeah. And like the Bennett Foddy thing is always about trying to gently, well, maybe sometimes not so gently, nudge the player toward challenges they would otherwise give up on, or just, like getting over it is literally about the concept of just doing something really hard because you can. If you keep going, you can do it. And Bennett Foddy is there to tell you you can do it. This is the same concept, but the thing is they give a real personification to the person who is suffering. Like Nate, yes, there's the whole joke about, yes, he's a failure to launch, man baby or whatever else that is. But the way he's portrayed in the game, I think, is really interesting and thoughtful, because it's not just I'm scared of everything and oh God. There is this put on that he gives of trying to exude confidence and trying to exude masculinity throughout the game, failing at it mostly miserably. But it's this attitude of I have to look like I know what I'm doing all the time, even when I am very clearly unable to even make my legs go the way I want them to. And it's really smart stuff, I think, actually.
Yeah, it's an accomplishment of the human spirit.
Yes.
and will.
And donkey dicks. Many, many donkey dicks.
It's a frustrating game.
Yes.
Yeah.
For sure.
For sure. This was a late cut from my top 10. Like this and one other thing we'll talk about were the two that I agonized over the most. And if I had played more of this, it probably would have stayed on the top 10, but it just came out at a time of year when a ton of games were coming out.
Yeah.
But also, as Vinny said, like, you really have to be willing to put up with it.
Yeah.
Like, you really have to be willing to redo sections you just did because you made one wrong move. And, like, I love that in concept, but sometimes when I felt like I was in a rush to check out a bunch of games, I was just like, I don't know if I can keep going up this mountain over and over.
Yeah.
Which, again, is the point of the game. Like, I absolutely get that's the point of the game. I want to play more of this. Some of those late game challenges seem like extremely my shit.
Yeah, like, and the thing is, you can beat the game without doing the most intensely hard stuff in the game. Like, the man breaker is not a thing you have to do to get the end of the story or any of that. In fact, the game actively tells you really don't need to go do that man breaker. It's okay. But this kind of game would normally just put me off and frustrate me, and I would just put it to the side and say, okay, I'm done. But I went in with this attitude of, if I have one of those moments where I just fall off and lose a ton of progress, I'm going to turn the game off, and then I will come back the next day. And that worked really well for me, where I didn't feel like I was wasting hours in stretches just trying to do the same challenge over and over again. I said, if I lose a chunk, that's the end for today. I will come back tomorrow. And it worked.
Yeah, that seems smart.
Did the hats get you anything except for
some narrative?
Okay. That's the other thing I got hung up on, was making sure I had hats, because it seemed like you needed hats when you rested at the campsites to make sure I wasn't missing the 8-bit dreams or whatever was going on there.
Yeah, there's narrative stuff around that.
And that kind of got me becoming my own worst enemy when I was like, I don't have the hat here, I can't move on yet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so get a hat and then rest is the move.
When you get to a campfire, yeah.
Okay.
But sometimes you see multiple hats along the same path. You have to decide, what hat am I going to go with?
I know.
I do think it is also very funny that the only thing you are really looking for in this game is hats that don't do a lot. But they make them very hard to get at times.
Some of them are very, very hard. Alex, anything else you want to say about your number one baby steps here?
I think if you've seen my Game of the Year lists over the years, I sometimes put a higher premium on good comedy in video games because it is sometimes so rare. It's not as rare as it used to be, but I was literally just, someone mentioned, hey, what was your Game of the Year of 2014 today? And I was like, you know what? Jazz Punk was my number one game that year. And I still would say that about this. I think this game really won me over just because it is so funny, and not just the jokes, but the literal physical comedy, like, simulation system in here is really finely tuned and well done. And I don't know. I respect the hell out of the effort.
Hell yeah. Baby steps.
It's a singular game.
Yeah.
Right up there.
Sorry, real quick. I mentioned Gabe and I mentioned Bennett. We also got to shout out Maxi Bach. Amazing, weird audio in that game.
Oh, for all the other audio happening around?
Yeah, all the weird sounds, all the weird squishiness, like all the stuff that's going on outside of the dialogue. Like, you know, Ape Out was maybe a little more dynamic in terms of what they were doing with audio in that game, but like this one is just so silly, and it's really, really good.
Baby Steps, Alex's number one game here of the year. I think this is where we'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll do some honorable mentions. We'll recap our lists here. We'll say goodbye to 2025. And we'll put this little list in a time capsule and send it off into space so other civilizations can realize what the best games of 2025 were. But for now, I'm going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. All right, we are back, and this is going to be the part where we do some honorable mentions. But before we get to that, I did look up my Claire Obscura playtime. 72 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what I thought when you said 20-something for the story. I was like, get out of town.
Yeah,
but,
well, that was
almost
like just
30.
That was like just mainline the story and nothing else. Did you do like everything?
Well, I got all the trophies, so I did the.
Okay, that's pretty close.
Platinum. Yeah, that's a fantastic game. Hey, number one game.
Cool. That's good to know. I have one quick thing that I wanted to bring up quickly around Death Stranding, not really about the game itself, that I forgot to mention when I should have, if you don't mind.
Yeah, of course.
Go for it.
Which is I had this like feeling as I was playing through that game, like I like to go and just read what other people, especially for such a mechanics heavy game full of secrets, just like read what people are doing in it and have to say about it and stuff. I kind of had this feeling as I was playing it that it felt like there was like less chatter and activity around this game than the first one, where I feel like the first one, like everybody was playing it when it came out. And like maybe some of that is the first game shook some people loose, but there was definitely like quantifiably less discussion around this game in some places where discussion is easy to quantify that I saw. Conversely, I saw no end of people, both people I know personally and people like on social media and on YouTube and places saying, I'm waiting for the PC version.
Oh,
like,
okay.
Like I have a friend who full on nearly bought a PS5 just to play that game. But in the end was like, it's one game. I'd rather play it on PC anyway. I'm just going to wait. Like that YouTuber Super Bunny Hop that I've mentioned before, who might be the biggest Kojima stan on the planet, recently put up a Death Stranding 1 video in which he said even he had not played Death Stranding 2 yet.
So you think there's a lot of
the PC version? So I really wonder if we have hit. And then I swear to God, this is not me trying to make excuses for my favorite game. Like, why did more people play this game or what? Like, I'm really just curious academically. Like, have we hit the point where you are just full on doing yourself a disservice by being a console exclusive now, particularly a single console exclusive, but also maybe PC is actually the most important platform, just period now.
Well, a timed exclusive, right? Like this'll
yeah, it'll get there eventually, but
yeah. I don't know. I think it depends how much co-marketing money and co-production money you're getting from your platform.
I really just wonder if we have hit a critical mass of like most people just want to play games on a PC at this point.
I would say like, Sony seems to think so at some point.
Yeah, it feels like we've been inching in that direction for a while now, but I really just wonder. I guess there are not. Sony still does not ship everything day one on PC. Although they're closer. They're closer. In fact, I think they've said to investors they're going to start doing more of that stuff.
See what happens with the price of RAM. Let's see if that changes.
Yes, like I'm really just curious. You know, Microsoft already ships every Xbox exclusive on the Windows Store, or almost all of them are on Steam even. I don't know. It's just an interesting phenomenon to see play out for like what seems like, you know, one of the bigger games of the year. Like so many people saying like, I'll play it when it comes out somewhere else.
And I think it's probably also relevant that when that comes out, I would assume there is some kind of new edition of that game that will be released with some touches that maybe help to smooth over some of the rougher points. I mean, that's what they did in the first one. So we'll see.
Yeah.
On the PC Game of the Year Super Edition Director's Cut.
Yeah. Of course, you know, I think that this game does have far fewer issues to smooth over than the first game did, but they probably will add some stuff. I mean, I'm mainly thinking about it like in the context of whatever the next consoles are going to be. You know,
oh boy,
as we continue talking about consoles becoming more and more PC like.
Sure,
that's just it's another interesting data point. Of like
too big a conversation for right now.
Yeah, but it's just something that I was thinking about in the wake of awards and stuff like that.
This game, Death Stranding 2, will have a second life. A second life.
I see what you're doing.
I think it's a second life. Look, we're in our part here where we're going to do some honorable mentions. Brad Shoemaker, why don't you start us off?
Yes,
we're just going to bebop around. This is going to be pretty loose. This is games that are, or these are games. This is games. These are games. This is games.
I requested to go first here because I am tripping over myself here to run in here and say the words Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection.
Okay. Honorable mention.
I think it caused me like physical pain to cut that from my top 10.
Sure.
But
this is also in my honorable mentions list.
Like originally I when I roughed out a list, I had just randomly put this at number 4 to put it in perspective. Like this is where Void Crew ended up sliding in instead. And I really just wanted to reward games that felt like they were doing something new.
Sure.
And like, it's weird with these. This is not technically a Gold Master game, but you know what I mean. I think they've done about half. They've done about half and half of these types of games that are and are not in that franchise. This one is not, but they've done this type of game quite a bit at this point, right?
Yeah.
And yet, this is the subject matter that is by far the closest to my heart of one of these they've done. So on that level, this is the best one that they've done so far. But they have done a lot of these. It's a very well-worn format at this point, which is great. Like, please don't stop making these, to be clear.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with this format. It rules. And then maybe there might also have been like a little knock against like not being able to find people to play against online almost at all. And, you know, some of the emulation quality has been a bit called into question. I still think this thing is fantastic. And the documentary work they did in this is like critical. It's not even just good. It's like important, you know? It's important to be documenting this stuff while we can. So
I think
go ahead.
I'll just say for my part, like the thing that kind of kept it off my list, it wasn't even really the emulation stuff, which I didn't run into too much issue with that as far as my gameplay is concerned. Like my MK skills are pretty rusted at this point anyway, so I'm not sure I even really noticed. I think the thing that kept it off for me is that like I just think of all the ones of these documentaries they've done, they have yet to surpass Atari 50, both in terms of like completion and just like breadth of information and knowledge. Like this one comes very close. This is probably my second favorite one they have done. I think the thing I ran into with this documentary is probably the thing that the documentarians ran into, which is that there's a lot of really interesting stuff in the first half of Mortal Kombat's story. And there might be some more interesting stuff they didn't get to in the second half, but it does feel like they kind of trail off once they get to Mortal Kombat 3. Like they are not as in depth and maybe just not as willing to divulge some of the stuff around that game in MK4 as they are in MK1 and 2.
Sure.
Yeah, that's tough to say. I mean, that's around 4 is where Tobias left. Who knows if there are like personal feelings they don't want to get into there. Also, 4 was not very well received, which is another reason they might not want to get as deeply into it. And I would say the advantage Atari 50 has is that is an entire not even a console. That's an entire company.
Yeah,
that's the history of an entire company that put out 3 consoles and some computers, and also kind of started the whole industry in some ways.
And if I may,
well, that's also
well, I'll just add on to what you were saying there. Also, it's old enough where, you know, a lot of the people are passing or past, and you could tell the stories maybe without running into some of those conflicts.
That's what I think it is that is also the least self-conscious one they have done so far in terms of the interview subjects. Everyone in Atari 50 felt like they were ready to just say whatever the fuck about Atari and all that.
Yeah, like some of the people in the MK collection are still working on MK today, you know, so it's maybe a little more sensitive, sure.
Yeah, I still think it's great, though. I agree.
It's still really well done.
Yeah, it's rad. I still feel intense personal guilt for not putting it on my top 10, but now I've said that into a microphone, so I guess it's okay.
Honorable mention.
Yeah.
We're not putting these on any kind of list. This is just kind of our feelings as we kind of wrap up the year here in 2025. Alex, you got an honorable mention you want to call out here?
I mean, I got several. I'll just pick one at random here.
Pick one.
I mentioned it earlier, Creepy Redneck Dinosaur Mansion 3. I mean, it's a match 3 game. It's not overly complicated in terms of mechanics, but in terms of telling a weird meta-narrative about a character in a canceled video game trying to figure out what the fuck is going on in the broken-ass, half-developed world that he has been trapped in, I think they get at more interesting stuff with that kind of narrative than I would have expected from a match 3 game. Like, it is pretty good.
It's still one I want to try. It's still on my list of things that I feel like because you brought it back up when we were looking at Bradley the Badger. I think it's the name of that game. And I was like, oh, right. Yes, that's still one I want to try.
You know, it's Strange Scaffold. I always enjoy the writing they do for their stuff. You know, even though I don't necessarily love every game mechanic they come up with. I think this is a pretty simple one, but a pretty fun one.
I've got one here that I would love to call out. This almost made my list, but I just wound up having other things to put on it. Sunderfolk. You guys remember this one?
I remember that.
Yeah.
This game is awesome. I had a lot of fun playing it. It's the multiplayer RPG, kind of light game, tactical game. It's very much a board game, but via a video game. It's so awesome. If you don't know what it is, you should go, and you're interested in playing something on a couch with some other people using a phone or other smart device. It's so good, especially if you have younger kids. I played it with my kids quite a bit, but I think adults like it as well. I think we played it online, right, Alex? Did we play it?
Yeah, we did.
We must have, with Abby. I played it locally, and it's awesome with the kids as well. Great game. Special call out this year. Sunderfolk. Check it out if you're looking for a great kind of lighter RPG dungeon experience. Very cool. Brad, let's come back around to you.
Okay, I've got a handful here that I'm just going to say the names of because we've already talked about them plenty and there's nothing else to say, but I'll just say them.
Sure.
Baby Steps. Baby Steps was the other one that I agonized over cutting. It was floating in the 6 to 9 range on my list until like that and MK basically vanished off the list like moments before we came in here to record the first one. Others that you guys talked about aren't in my honorable mentions are Shinobi Art of Vengeance.
Sure.
Abiotic Factor and Skin Deep.
Okay.
Which, we've obviously talked about those quite a bit. One that has not come up here that I for a hot minute, I thought about putting this at number 10. 33 Immortals.
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
That game, speaking of being in like a weird, like a golden age of like varied multiplayer games, this game rules. Like, I'm shocked how much I liked this game. Like, it works way better. It's way more interesting than I thought it might be.
Yeah. It's a fun raid game. I don't know what else to call it.
Yeah,
it's basically a raid.
That's a good term for it.
Like, really, really interesting group mechanics as you get in there. Like, they found a lot of ways to make sort of like passive group mechanics work really well in a game where you're not talking to people, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're like Vinny, you played a fair amount of this. Like, yeah, I think you know what I mean. Like, a lot of these the group mechanics are like indicated or conveyed visually really well. Like the special moves that straight up pop like where to stand on the screen, so it's really obvious the first time you play. Like, oh, I should go stand over here and a thing will happen. Like
just stand in my ring.
Like, and like the power ramp through a run. You start out very weak, but then you upgrade rapidly as you go. Like that kind of reducing friction, increasing power thing over the course of what is a run in this, like 20 minutes or something. Like I really enjoyed the arc of a run in this game, and I don't know where it's at in early access. I haven't looked. I only played it for a couple weeks after it came out. I need to see what their roadmap looks like. I know they added more stuff. I hope that keeps an audience or regains an audience when it goes 1.0 or whatever. I would love to get back to this when it's like quote unquote done.
33 Immortals. Alex, you got another one you want to call out here?
Sure thing. This is another kind of left field one. Blippo Plus.
Blippo Plus.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
What's up, Blippo?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I didn't play this on the Playdate. I only saw it when it came to PC. And this is, look, it's barely a game, let's be real. It is mostly a thing that you watch and just kind of let wash over you. But as a pure distillation of what I would describe as Pee Wee Herman level sort of camp zaniness, it is a very delightful experience.
For sure.
It's a lot of beehives, it's a lot of angles, it's a lot of 80s makeup, and just incredible ham-fisted acting.
It's Alien public access TV in the weirdest possible way. It's good. It's a lot of fun. We played this on the PC version.
Yes.
But you can toggle what the Playdate version would look like, and it's kind of amazing that ever made it over there. Yeah.
It's just such a it has that cable access drama club kind of like we're just doing a thing vibe, and I'm always kind of get into that, but like they do a really good job of just telling a very zany story here.
I'm going to call out one that I'm sure some people probably have on their list this year. It didn't make my list, but Blueprints. Honorable mention for Blueprints. I played through a bunch of this game, got to the end of the room, and then put this game down and said, I'm done. I think I'm done. There was just a little too much getting in my way versus how much I was getting out of the game to continue, and that's kind of what I think did it in.
This seems like the most you game ever made.
Yeah,
conceptually, like in the spirit of an Oberdin or whatever, or a Golden Idol, like a learning puzzle game. You know what I mean?
There was just too much that they was asking of me in terms of how much patience I had to get the right combination of rooms and right combination of items to unlock the rooms, to kind of get where I needed to be. That once I hit that end room and they were like, do you want to do more? And I was like, I think I'm kind of good. You haven't quite given me enough to continue going in this kind of post, I can't say it's the end of the game because, I saw credits or whatever, but it seems like there's a lot more after that. So,
I get the sense that there is like an almost Fez-like amount of post-game stuff to discover in this game.
But it just didn't keep me going enough.
Yeah, I am with you. I played a fair amount of this. I really like it on paper and concept.
Yeah.
Same exact experience, though, of like just one too many wasted runs of feeling like I didn't get anything done or like didn't have the right stuff come up to do the things I wanted to do or knew how to do now.
Yeah.
And it sounds like I might have gotten closer to unlocking the room than I realized.
Sure.
The last time we talked about it, I think you said that. I think based on what I was saying, you were like, you might be closer than you think.
Yeah. I mean, it really does come down to, at some point, you can manipulate what's going on there to a certain extent, but at some point, you just want the right rooms in the right place with the right objects.
Yeah.
But it's cool.
Yeah, so
it's a cool concept.
It's neat.
It's a neat game. Let's spin back around. Brad, you got another one to call out here?
Let's see. So everything else I've got is more of a, like under a wanted to play or play more of.
Okay.
So like less honorable mention, but more like, hey, I really liked what I played of this, but needed to play more or didn't quite get to it. Final Fantasy Tactics: The Ivalice Chronicles.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
There's another one that came out right alongside Baby. There was that week Austin was on the podcast when Baby Steps, Final Fantasy Tactics, and Ghost of Yotei were all things we had just started playing. You know what I mean? And like 3 other games came out right around there. Like it was just a lot of big, cool stuff coming out at once. So I put a few hours into this and really liked it and have not had a chance to go back to it. If I had played more of this, like I definitely think this could have been a top 10 game for me.
Could be a 2026er.
That's the thing. I may have said this already, but I might grab the Switch 2 version at some point, and because this seems like tailor-made for portable, like a portable scenario. So this might be like an airplane game in the future for me. Great. Like, well, okay, I don't have the point of reference. Go listen to that podcast with Austin because he does. So we talked at length about what they improved versus the original, which I did not play, but like it's very approachable, like great voice acting, like great modern quality of life tweaks. Like it really feels, as a newcomer to it, it really feels like a modern playable game and not like outdated in any way.
Alex, that's Final Fantasy Tactics: The Ivalice Chronicles. Alex, you got another one you want to call out here?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I'm kind of with Brad. Like, these are ones that I played, or in the case of the next one, I did finish it and liked it. But, I think it was one of those things. I was like, I came at the end of the year and I was like, okay, this is cool. Marvel Cosmic Invasion.
Sure.
I did finish this because it's not that long, but it's a beat 'em up. It's just a good beat 'em up. It is a very enjoyable old style arcade beat 'em up with some Marvel characters that It's not overly inventive. I think the dual character mechanic is kind of the big thing it hangs its hat on. I do think that is pretty fun. But generally, it's just a very chunky, very punchy, good beat 'em up where it feels like everything punches real good.
I've got a couple more on here that are that could have been in my number 11 slot, and this is one that probably wasn't going to make my list, but I think definitely deserves to be called out as something from 2025 that I had a lot of fun playing. Schedule 1.
That was also on my honorable mentions list.
It was just a really fun, dumb game that I had a lot of fun playing this year with you guys. Of slinging drugs. I'm not
treadmill.
sure. Yeah, good treadmill. I'm not sure what about it made it so much more enjoyable than some of the other games we played, but I don't know.
It has a healthy attitude toward drug dealing, I think, compared to maybe some of the other drug dealing simulators out there.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, well, it's pretty
goofy.
It's a tight progression loop.
Yeah,
like the mechanics leapfrog each other in pretty much exactly the way you want. Of like, oh, I got just enough money to buy the thing that lets me triple my output, and doing that lets me serve 2 more districts, and doing that lets me hire 3 more dealers. You know what I mean? It's like you're constantly unlocking new things to do by doing the things you're doing. It's kind of exactly what you want in this kind of game.
And it also had that bit of empire building, right? Be it drugs or whatever else you might be building your empire around. But it did seem like we were scaling things up, and everybody seemed to have something to do, right? Like, hey, I'm going to make the calls. I'm going to bag weed. I'm going to, clean up around, take the trash out. I like a game where everybody feels like they have a role to play. Brad, you got another one you want to call out here as we make the rounds?
Ghost of Yotei is definitely in that wanted to play more of. That might be. I'm undecided. That might be a game I put a fair amount of time into over the break. I'm not sure yet. Like that seems like that's the other end of the spectrum from the like Death Stranding does something interesting with an open world. This is like a very familiar open world, you know?
Mm-hmm.
This is very much a map game activity, like a map full of activities that are like, hey, there's 20 of each of these activities on the map. Just go out and do them.
I think this might fall in with me, and I like Ghost of Yotei, and I might play some more of it if I have the time, but I think I'm just running a little dry on big open world ride around games, like and collect games.
I can see it. Yeah.
I played a lot of Assassin's Creed this year, and it kind of, in the end, it didn't make my list. It's not even on my honorable mentions. I just sunk a lot of hours into it, and I feel like I didn't get that much out of it.
I think I tapped out of it earlier than you guys did, and that might be part of why I want to play this.
Yeah, maybe, but like this is doing something different. I just think I might be a little over some of the big, expansive, open world. You see that go there. Type of news.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yotei did a lot more for me in that regard, but I agree. I think also having both those games come out the same year effectively canceled them out in my mind.
It felt like a bit much.
Yeah,
I think for me the just the generic. I don't want to call this game generic. That might be a little harsh, but you know, like the very familiar template of an open world game is kind of comfort food sometimes.
For sure.
Map uncovering is an inherently pleasurable activity.
Right. Like I don't have to think too hard about it. I can just like, oh, there's another bandit camp to take over. Like, oh, I'm going to do this fox chase again. None of these are like truly exhilarating, but they're all just satisfying enough that I'll just kind of like sink into the couch and play some of this every day or two.
You're probably right. Maybe it was after putting like whatever ungodly amount of hours into finishing up Assassin's Creed and having that ending just be such dog crap. Just soured me on not.
Oh, did you finish it?
Oh yeah. You
finished Shadows?
Yeah, quote unquote finished it.
I didn't think either of you guys finished that.
I put 70 hours into it, and somehow I still didn't finish it.
Yeah,
I don't want to sell this game short. Like, I think there is some really nice presentation stuff in this game.
Oh yeah.
Oh, this game is fucking beautiful. Like, there's no question.
So to be clear, I don't mean graphics though. Like, tons of games have good graphics. I think they're the glue that puts this game together is what's impressive. You know, like the transitions between scenes and just the kind of elegance of the fit and finish of the game. You know.
Yeah,
like opening with you already on horseback galloping through a field, the transitions in and out of the maps and the fast travel and like the everything about the flow of the game. That the 2 time periods mechanic of, you know, warping back and forth in time in a place to see it before and after, like just all that type of stuff is pretty impressive.
Yeah. I think I just need a little more breather in my Assassin games.
But yes, if I had finished Shadows, I probably would want nothing to do with this game.
Alex, you want to call out another one here?
Yeah, I got like a couple more at this point. The next one I would say is one that I did play a little of, but I mostly saw on stream, but I went and bought it after we streamed it. No, I'm Not a Human.
Oh yeah.
From our Fright or Shite era this year.
Cool.
This is sort of a Papers, Please, but for survival in some kind of Russian apocalypse.
Yeah.
Yes, this.
And just profound weirdos showing up at your door all the time.
Yeah.
Some amazing art in this game and just a story tone that was unlike much else I played this year.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to describe. You're like locked up in sequestered in a house as some weird alien invasion may or may not be happening. It's I'm sure loaded with metaphor, and you can kind of guess what's going on here. But in order to survive, you can't be alone in your house. But then again, you don't want to invite people who are the alien or others into your house. So you wind up in this paranoia mode. And over the radio, they keep on saying like, well, look, the aliens have like weird, dirty fingernails. So check everybody's fingernails. And you wind up having a shotgun to eliminate the person you think might be an alien.
And boy, do ya when you do that.
Sometimes you make mistakes, okay?
Yeah. But it's just a cool, weird thing, and I liked stuff in this sort of like Papers, Please. I don't know. There aren't too many games that are exactly like Papers, Please. This is maybe one of the closest I have encountered in terms of tone and mechanics.
Yeah, I like this one too. No, I'm Not a Human. I've got another one here I'd like to call out. I think this is a fun game. Revenge of the Savage Planet. I think it is a great co-op game for two people. Kind of a goofy, silly Metroidvania-ish kind of game.
Yeah.
I mean, you do get a lot of upgrades to go explore new stuff. It just moves. I played a lot of it with the kids as well. I played some with Will. It's just a silly, fun, well put together Looney Tunes-esque ass game. So with FMV,
it's an ass game.
It's an ass game.
Nice.
Yeah, with a bunch of FMV, I recommend it if you're looking for a good co-op game.
I played just a little bit of this for the podcast. I think weren't you guys streaming this while I was in that trial?
Yep, that's right.
Remember that?
I do.
Although I think the co-op only goes to 2 players. Is that right, or did I dream that?
Nope, 2 players.
It is only 2.
Yep.
Okay, that's seems like maybe kind of a weird limitation, but that's fine. But so I mean, we couldn't have all played it as a group anyway. But
yeah,
I did want to play this. I did think what I played of it was pretty cool. I really liked the first game. I quite like Journey to the Savage Planet, and this was definitely in that vein, although third person instead of first. A shout out to them. They shipped this game at 30 frames per second only on all consoles, and that sucked ass, but it looks like they addressed that.
Oh, okay.
I just found they added 40 and 60 hertz modes to this, so
nice.
That is exciting, and maybe I'll play some of this at some point.
It also has one of the best run animations of a third person game.
Yes, yeah, some really good animation in this for sure. Very cartoony.
Revenge of the Savage Planet. Brad, if you've got more, we're willing to hear your case.
I can finish mine now, actually.
Okay.
I've got 2 on here that I did not touch yet that were both kind of tactical decisions of like which games should I focus on.
Okay.
Maybe technically 3 that like could have been on my top 10 or just from appearances, I think could have been a top 10 game if I had chosen to play that. Dying Light the Beast.
Sure. Okay.
Which I think is going to be a January game for me.
Okay.
Still very eager to play that. Donkey Kong Bonanza.
Oh, so these are games you're looking forward to.
Yes, these are like, yeah, might have been top 10 games probably just from what I know of them and looking at them. Bonanza is another one. And Clair Obscur, I'll throw that out there. That also was late in the year. It was just a value judgment of should I start 3 more games?
No.
And play each of them for 2 hours, or should I just play more of Silent Hill? Or it's that whole thing.
I get it.
But those are all games that anyway. And then the last one I'll mention that maybe could have gone further is Arc Raiders.
Sure.
I think there's some things about that game that are just straight up amazing, like incredibly executed. Like some of the combat stuff, some of the like the way the robots act in that game is really kind of unlike anything I've seen.
Yes.
Like the way the flight is modeled on all the drone enemies. I feel like that
fantastic.
Yeah, like that game leading with drone enemies is incredibly smart because those drones I feel like act like I have not seen video game enemies act before.
Yeah.
In terms of their AI, I mean, I'm talking like enemy AI, not AI. You know, but also the flight mechanics. Like the ability to like shoot out their engines and knock them off in a way that skews their aim and stuff is just incredibly exciting.
Yeah, and like sometimes give you a chance to duck into a doorway or something.
Exactly, in a dynamic way, like somebody plinking the Rocketeer's engine at just the last second to make the rocket go wide when it otherwise would have killed you.
Yes,
like just exhilarating.
I've had a lot of really superb moments in this game, and a lot of maybe the most frustrating moments in this game from mostly the player interaction. So like there's been this real move of player. Yeah. So there's been this move in the player base that was like awesome, right? Like, hey, like a don't shoot. There's like a lot of like people running around just fighting the don't shoot. It seems like it turned into a little bit now, more recently when I was playing a little don't shoot. Okay. And then they just shoot you. And it's like,
are you still playing it?
Yeah. I play with my brothers.
I didn't know you were playing it still. So that's fascinating to hear. I wonder I wonder if the more casual people that bought it when it was new and had their fun with it and then put it down have moved on, and the only people left are the assholes who are super hardcore about it and are going to murk you all the time, as you were describing.
Mm-hmm. It's been moments where I just never want to play this game again. You know, like
that's
it's just
interesting.
Like I just wanted to do my thing here and just get out. I would much rather this game, and I know this is not the game that they made, would just be a PvE game. Like I enjoy that. It's not the game they made, and this is probably why it's not on my list. You know, for some other reasons as well. But like, it's like I just don't like that part. I just don't like it.
That's it. Yeah, I mean that's valid. I think it would have been a very different game at that point. But also like the kind of similar to some of those combat elements I was talking about, like the social dynamics that emerge out of the game they made here. And maybe this is not unique to this game. Maybe it's all extraction games, but like, I'm going to say it again. That time you just talked us through that encounter. The first time you just got out there and talked us through not having to fight somebody because we were really worried they were going to kill us was like,
it's kind of cool, right?
A top 10. I don't know what top 10 this is, but it's a top 10 moment of something.
There's something
like, I've never quite seen that in a video game before, that you were using like charm and personality to manipulate the way this encounter is going.
There's definitely
it's kind of not an input that you often have to work with in games like this, you know?
No, there's something about the environment being so deadly that you want to team up with, like everybody feels like on the back foot, right?
Yeah,
like,
that's part of it. Like they make the world itself so hostile that I think I've said before, like the E in this game is so brutal that the P's tend to work together more, which is cool. But also just like you might have been able to convince that person in that moment not to shoot us when they had been thinking about it beforehand. You know what I mean?
Well,
like that's cool. That's cool as fuck.
That person has probably killed my team now.
That is also possible. But it had some, even in the brief time I played this game, it had some really cool encounters with other players, but did not put a ton of time into this. Like the repetitiveness of just going out and farming materials and coming back to your base.
Little shopping list.
Like the shopping list and the enormous inventory that kind of runs together, and like just the core loop of you're just kind of leveling up vendors and crafting tables over and over. Like I kind of projected that. I saw how that was going to go and projected that out over like 30 or 40 hours. And I was like, do I really want to just chase 8 levels of a gun table? I'm not sure that's enough for me.
As somebody who's come back to it and played it with like a family, it's a game where if you're just chatting, you know, like your social game where you're like running your shopping list while you're just catching up with your family or friends. Otherwise, I have not played this on my own. Like a solo game.
I did a few solo runs here and there, and it was just kind of okay. I didn't get a ton out of it. It's weird though. Will claims that solo is the way to play the game. Like it's interesting that people have such different views on how to play it. Or he said he's had all of his best moments in solo games. But also what you just described makes the way they handle voice chat, where the mics can be open for your team but not for the world, really smart. So you can just like chat with your family while you're rolling around, and you can choose when other players can hear you. Yeah.
And then it's like, hey, let's get out. And then, don't shoot.
There's a lot of fascinating ideas in this game.
As Arc Raiders, Alex, do you got another one here you want to pluck out?
Yeah, I'm just going to kind of wrap this up with some indie sequels that I did like, but did not end up liking as much as I was kind of hoping. Hades 2 is kind of that number one with a bullet. Like, I do think that game is quite fun, but the loop did not hit me quite as hard this time around. And I just never really got into a great rhythm with the narrative, like getting involved in it. So I despite playing a bunch of it when it was an open, early access, I just never got regular with it once it hit 1.0. But maybe that'll change at some point. But right now I'm kind of like, I was kind of good with it. Another one is Citizen Sleeper 2, which I did play some of. Did not end up going back to finish, which I was kind of sad about because I did like the first game quite a bit. Just, I don't know, either it was the time of year or something else, just did not hit for me at that moment. And the last one is the sequel to one of my previous games of the years, Nights in Tight Spaces, the sequel to Fights in Tight Spaces, which I do think is very good. That was this year.
That was this year. Jeez, yes, right.
And I do think this game is really good. Like, it's a novel follow-up to the first one. I think I just played so much of Fights in Tight Spaces that even the stuff that was different in this one wasn't quite enough to get me back into that groove again.
Sure. I actually, the time I spent with this, though very, very limited, I did like the party mechanic, and I thought that was a cool thing.
Yeah, it's got some good ideas. I think I maybe burned out on that first game a little hard.
Dang, I should go back to this.
But that's all. That's all I got.
I got a couple of other things here. Yeah, I'll just run down mine. Look, a game about digging a hole was very fun. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. I'll endorse that honorable mention. Sure.
Like, it's not perfect. It goes an honorable mention for what is setting out to do. It's a loop that takes you deeper, figurative and literally, into digging a hole. Okay.
Like, yeah, totally. I will say this game was about the first third of a game that would have been like pretty high up on a top 10 list for me, if that makes sense.
Sure.
Like if there had been 3 times more game, like it feels like just when you are plumbing the depths and starting to see some weird shit, it just ends, you know?
Yeah.
And if that had been the beginning of like an 8 or 10 hour game that had a bunch more weird stuff underground to discover and better, more bizarre contraptions to buy and stuff like that, like a sequel to this, or, you know, like a more expanded version of this could have been really fucking rad. As is, it was a fun 3 or 4 hours that ended too early and I just kind of moved on.
It's absolutely a game where, you know, we played it now, but if there's a game comes out called The Hole, right? And you're like, oh, that's weird. And you realize it's like, no, the guy who did Digging a Hole, a game about digging a hole, made a broader game about this whole thing. You'd be like, yes, this is what I want.
Yep.
Another one that I really liked that I would love to sit down and play is Kaizen, a factory game or factory story. This is the not Zachtronics game made by the folks who I think used to be part of Zachtronics when Zachtronics was
Zach,
a thing.
This is Zach.
So this game is very cool. I did a play of this at some point on a stream. It's one of these games, right? Like, I don't really know how to describe this, but it is figure out how to make the thing the most efficient way possible. Not quite programming, but in that vein of stuff. It's a Kaizen, a factory story. 2 other games here I'd like to call out before we end our 2025, or at least 2 other games that I remember that I would like to call out here. One is Lens Island, which I really like.
Yeah, that was cute.
Yeah, this was awesome. Again, I played this with the family. My daughter and I played a bunch of this. I would still go back and finish our game, Alex, that we started with you and Abby. I think the loop in this is a lot of fun. It's kind of an action rock and stick game, survival game, but it has dungeon crawling in it as well. Farming. It's neat. It's a lot of fun. I think the upgrade loop is really good in it. Lens Island. I also think when it launched, they were offering it for free, which I thought was a pretty cool thing to do. And finally here, a game you probably didn't hear a lot of, but it's just a silly game. Pocket Boss.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this was very silly, short. It's basically Pocket Boss is a small game about you having to fulfill your boss's wishes about fixing spreadsheets and dumb graphs, but it gets kind of surreal and ridiculous and dumb and all it's just a little journey through the dumb world of spreadsheets and graphs.
I don't know why I keep hearing the title in a Boston accent for some reason.
Because you're the Pocket
KPIs.
Boss. Yes.
Pocket Boss.
It's fun. It's silly. That's Pocket Boss. Those are the games I called out for honorable mention. I don't have any real dishonorable mentions. I was thinking about it, but there is a game I do want to call out here.
Okay.
That made me a little angry.
All right.
And it's not most disappointing.
Oh, he's getting out the soapbox.
But I had a tough time with it. Alex, Lost Records Bloomin' Rage.
Yeah, kind of a bummer, that one.
What happened there?
Like, not hideously terrible by any stretch, like some problems for sure, but if I had to try and sum up what went wrong with that one, normally I'm more on board with the incredible unvarnished earnestness that studio and those, like, for instance, like the Life is Strange games kind of tend to deal in. There's just something about this one that became grating after a point, and it's not the story of girlhood or finding, you know, a musical creative outlet or any of that kind of stuff. It's the way it's told and delivered, which just feels like it is going for a combination of maximum schmaltz and like a weird amount of almost like inauthenticity, which it's hard to pin down exactly what's wrong with it. It just isn't hitting any of the notes that it seems to be going for.
Yeah, and in a real like severe. It like goes hard, but it just doesn't get traction with me. And I don't know, something about it. I was glad to play it with you and Abby because I think I'm not sure how I would have felt about it playing it on my own, being like, it's just not for me. Am I just not connecting with anything? But to kind of share it there, it's just something about it. And I also kind of feel like I connect with some of those games and I like when they try. Now, something about that one.
Yeah, just didn't have enough of a foothold in what it was trying to do.
Yeah. You know what? To not be alone, I'm just going to put Assassin's Creed Shadows up there. A game that I put in a ton of time in, but boy, howdy, you really dropped the ball on giving a satisfying conclusion to that game. I did not go back and do any of the DLC or the added content to the end, but great ninja action that you stretched to a millimeter thin veneer over the across all the hours of that game. So look,
does it end with anything interesting in the present day, or is it purely just historical?
Present day?
Like there is no present day in that game, right?
I don't think there is present day in that game at all.
I didn't know if they would ever get around to it or not, but
yeah. I'm looking over my big list here to see if there's anything else. There are plenty of other games that were touched that could be called out, but I think for this 2025, look, I'm still playing through Metroid Prime 4, and that game has its ups and downs. I don't know if that would be on a dishonorable mention or not. That is probably, if I'm making a category for a game that makes me question the taste of my friends, that might be the game that is just like, you really like this game, huh?
You know, the plenty of people that I know and in the games press have referred to that game in one way or another as mid. Okay. So you were far from alone.
All right. We'll see. That's, it's another one there. But I think we're going to wrap up our 2025 best up. So let's get back to the recap.
Crap.
Oh, yeah.
You're right. Now you've got me looking at my giant list and thinking if there are dishonorable mentions for me. I'm not really. Maybe Monster Hunter Wilds didn't really do it for me.
Okay.
Civ 7 is mine. I think of those.
Yeah. I liked World quite a bit, and Wilds just kind of didn't. It just didn't do it for me.
I think there was a thing this year for me of just like I think I really hit sequelitis on a lot of games. Like
sure. You know, I feel like I need to say the words Doom the Dark Ages here.
Sure.
Also, that came out this year. Like I enjoyed what I played of it well enough, but I kind of fell off of it and did not end up going back to it. I think it's pretty good, but it might be I don't know. Might be my least favorite of those three.
Again, it's one of those things that I think maybe you guys are just sharing some of this of bigger, more of a thing is just not doing it for me anymore.
Not always better.
Yeah.
Or in that case, it was felt like maybe a bit of an overcorrection on the gameplay.
Okay.
Like Eternal was a little too far in one direction, and this was a little too far in another direction. Also, the bigger, actually, honestly, I think it was the storytelling was maybe a bigger or just as big an issue. Like they just need to rediscover the irreverence of 2016.
How about a game that I feel like we all wish we enjoyed more? And I feel like I'm not only to speak for you, but I feel like you'll agree when I say the name. FBC Firebreak.
Yep. That was the other one I'm looking at this list.
Like wanted that to just come out of the gate swinging harder.
Yes.
Just wasn't. It had a lot of promise.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. I wish I could have liked that game more. You know, I'll say Ninja Gaiden Ragebound is like kind of half an honorable mention.
Okay. All right.
It's no Shinobi Art of Vengeance, but I thought that game was not bad.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't touch that one. Did any of you guys touch Mafia: The Old Country?
Nope.
No,
Okay.
I didn't play it.
All right. I'll leave that just hanging there. It's all right. That's like my definition of like, I don't know. I think I finished that game. It was probably like 10, 12 hours or whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
Probably couldn't remember that much about it. Just kind of came and went.
Sometimes that's okay.
Sometimes that's okay. There's so many other games on this list that we could probably spend all day talking about it, but I do think, no. Okay. Look, I'm not going to. Alex.
Yeah.
Mario Kart World? Did it get mentioned at all?
Oh my God.
Here?
Holy shit. We didn't even say the words Mario Kart World in this entire thing, did we?
No, and I think the reason I didn't put it on the disappointment list is that it wasn't enough of a disappointment even to really stand out that much. It just didn't have enough of the things I wanted, I guess, from Mario Kart 8 onto this. Like, the open world stuff was fine, and my partner enjoyed it well enough. I think not all the tracks were that great. I think that was really the thing that kept me away, is that like some of the tracks just weren't that exciting to me. But beyond that, it's just like, it's perfectly fine Mario Kart.
I feel like it's telling that I got my late breaking Switch 2. Not only have I not launched that game yet, I forgot I had it.
Yeah.
Like I've just been playing Metroid, and I went and checked out like all the games like Mario Odyssey and Breath of the Wild that got updates. I forgot about Mario Kart World. I should play some of that over the break.
All right. I think before we just go talk about every game that released this year, we should probably wrap up.
I'm done. I'll stop.
If you want, if people can go check out games.nextlander.com. I have a list running over there. I think Brad, you've updated your list as well on the list side for things that you've touched or or laid hands on or played or finished or
I didn't quite use we don't need to get into it. I didn't quite use the lists as labeled. Are these lists public? Can people see these?
Yeah. If people want to
realize that,
see some of those things that we've touched or looked at, or you can go and see the games we've pulled. I don't still want to go sit here and talk about all these other games. I'm starting to look at the big list now of stuff that's like, oh yeah, that was a fun game. Oh yeah, that was fun. You can go check out that. That's mostly for like, how come they didn't talk about my favorite game? Well, maybe we played it and it just didn't stand out to us. Yep. Those I should say, those lists are not set in stone. those lists. I think it's because only completed and inactive let you sort by year currently. So I just kind of repurposed those for, I think completed is every game I played this year. Mm-hmm. And inactive is the games I had marked that I would be interested in playing. Although a couple of those I have now played and should be moved. Sure. Yes. Do not take that. Those lists are for us to manage our own stuff. But it's more, it's more for us to have fun with and track our own stuff. So please do not take those as 100%.
Sorry, I'm closing the window now because I'm seeing like 5 more games I'm going to start talking about if I don't.
That's exactly.
We gotta move out of here.
That's exactly what reminded me of why I wanted to mention that. There's plenty of other games you can go check out that I'm sure we've seen throughout the year that are in our heads, in our hearts, but not going to be on this list. Okay, fellas, that's it. Let's do a quick recap here. Brad, why don't you kick it off with your top 10, starting from number 10 on your recap.
My top 10 from 10 to 1 is Avowed, Peak, Elden Ring, Night Rain, Silent Hill F, Fortnite, Ball Pit, and Mega Bonk at a tie, Void Crew, Keeper, Luminous, Arise, and Death Stranding 2.
I've got my top 10 here with number 10, Split Fiction, number 9, Shinobi Art of Vengeance, 8, Abiotic Factor, 7, Death Stranding 2, 6, Peak, 5, Donkey Kong Bonanza, number 4, Hollow Knight, Silk Song, number 3, Root Trees Are Dead, number 2, what a great game, Dispatch, and number 1, Claire Obscure Expedition 33, Alex Navarro.
My list from number 10 on: Death Stranding 2 on the Beach, Shinobi Art of Vengeance, Mega Bonk, Silent Hill F, Skate Story, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Abiotic Factor, The Root Trees Are Dead, Skin Deep, and Baby Steps.
What a bunch of games. Obviously, all of our choices are the 100% correct right choices.
Always and forever.
Always and forever. If you have picked the wrong game, there's nothing I can do about that on your list. I apologize to you.
Someone will be showing up at your house momentarily to take you to prison.
I think this for a year of someone. I don't know why I'm trying to mince or like really navigate a minefield of words here, but if you are playing games this year, you had a lot to play and some very good games. The reason I'm probably dancing around words is if you were making games this year, I'm sorry. This seems like a tough year to be on.
May next year be better.
Yeah, if you're on the making game side of things, my heart goes out to you. But if you are playing, if you're on the receiving end of that hard work, you got a lot of great games to play this year. There were fantastic games coming out this year. Maybe one of the better years, I think.
Also, if you're trying to afford games or afford the hardware on which to play them, like it's also getting rough. It's it's a time out there.
I'd look 2025. The year consoles went up after launch. The prices of consoles went up. First time I've ever seen it. Maybe it's happened before, but I was paying attention. But first time I've ever seen a price increase for a console post-launch. Kind of ridiculous. Who knows what 2026 will bring. Thanks, everybody, for listening to us and supporting us. This should officially be the last podcast we have in the can for 2025. Of course, there's tons of other stuff you can go check out on the Nextlander.com or patreon.com/Nextlander side of things. Plenty of things that went up during this break even. There was a Gremlins Watchcast. There was Never Been a Better Podcast. There are 2 Ramblecasts that went up. If you are curious about where things might head with the Watchcast, that is over on the Ramblecast. We do a kind of I don't know, what would you call brainstorm session, let's say, of Watchcast ideas. And then we have another Ramblecast up there as well. Go watch some of the older stuff. We have our YouTube channel. We got our Twitch channel. If you missed any of that stuff, I'm excited to see at the time of recording this, where things go on Friday. Brad, with our patron's choice, which is
Guilty as Sock.
Okay.
Is there a pun to that name that I'm missing?
It's supposed to be guilty as sin, but it's a bit of a lazy pun. I'm going to be honest.
Such a leap. That's such a leap that I just don't think it even counts.
Yeah, I don't know. It could have been Sock Rock. It could have been a bunch of things. Who knows? We'll have that. Go check that out if you missed it. I hope you're enjoying whatever time off you might have, if you have it. And if you don't, I hope having this podcast in your ears has made your time just a little bit better. But that's going to do it. Thank you very much, Alex Navarro.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brad Shoemaker.
Thank you.
And we'll be back in 2026 with more of the Nextlander podcast. See you, everybody.
Happy New Year.
And that is going to do it for our favorite games of 2025. And that is going to do it for our 2025 podcasting. I'd like to thank everybody for supporting us in 2025. I hope you come out and support us in 2026. Of course, you can go to patreon.com/Nextlander to not only support us, but to find a lot of great stuff you may have missed during the year. We got stuff like Never Been a Better Podcast, Planoramas, Ramblecast, Video Ramblecast, a whole bunch of stuff. And of course, there is one tier there that gets their names read on the podcast, this here show, and that's the Mysterious Benefactor tier. So one more time for 2025, our Mysterious Benefactors are Send Me Good Vibes because we're having baby 2. Of course, the good vibes are being sent. RRE, Alpha Rhythm, Nextlander.net, it's .com, David L, Kelly F, Brian Lucier, Skywarp, Jason Grimm, John Hubbard, Thordreen, Evan Cook, Jerry Lee. Deidre officially welcomes Tom Morello to the Final Fantasy XIV community. Robert Fisher, Bunny Jerk, Jad Rita, Statics, Brian Murphy, Randy Duax, Randy Alderson, Andrew Teepkin, Alex Wu, It's Me JP, Edward Chick, Andrew Slosky, Steve Lynn, Matthew Herrig, David Campos, and Tyler Treese. If you want to become a supporter and a Mysterious Benefactor, you can get over to patreon.com/Nextlander. Either way, thanks for listening and thanks for supporting us. I hope you're doing as well as you can be doing out there. And I hope you've enjoyed Nextlander in 2025. Here's to 2026. Thanks again, everybody, and we'll be back next year. See ya.